wife's home.
Ask her about Olive Garden.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
You missed the Olive Garden section.
Oh, I love Olive Garden.
We talked about the unlimited soup salad and breadsticks.
Oh, I love soup salad.
Honey, do you want to go to Olive Garden?
Yeah.
Too bad.
No! Spousal abuse.
Yeah, it's such abuse that I'm like, no, we're not going to Olive Garden. We've gone out too much already. We've been ordering out all week.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to
Why'd
episode
you
number
count
44.
down? It's
What?
live.
What?
We're live.
I did it for your benefit when you edit this episode.
Oh, no, this is all staying in. I was just
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well,
He
anyone,
doesn't edit these.
anyway, hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 44 of Anime Club After Dark's WTF series, a chance for us to get together live and talk about things outside the anime world that have been on our minds recently and to answer your questions in Discord. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai, and joining me tonight, I have our czar of source material, John.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, John.
He just woke up. Give him some forgiveness.
You know what? Understandable.
Listen, I was ready to just riff for another 30 minutes about crap, and I didn't even know we didn't start the episodes. We didn't even do an intro. I was like, oh, this is just me.
And a man who forgot how much he hates people, Shinoda.
Hello, hello. I hate people. Touching grass sucks.
How is everyone? Everyone is well. John is probably really tired because he just woke up.
Yeah, I slept like 5 hours.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
It's
It's fine.
dirty ghost.
Do you want to now riff on tipping culture, or should I ask the questions that people asked on Discord first?
All right. So tipping culture has gotten really freaking crazy and out of control in
Yes.
America. Like, what is wrong with America and tipping? So the origin of tipping comes from like, oh, it was a stopgap measure after or during the
Depression.
the Great Depression, where it's like, okay, people still need to freaking eat, so give what you can to people like less fortunate than you, and hashtag based Americans, we're all very freaking nice, and we do want to help people out. So it's like we started doing that, and then restaurateur owners and restaurant owners in general were like, hey, we don't have to pay our workers as much if we just make everyone tip. And now we're here, like freaking 70, 80 years later or something.
Is that really where it comes from? It's not older than that?
I mean, the idea of tipping is older than that, but like tipping as a
The
general
culture
thing,
itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the culture itself really started in the 30s.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Late 20s, early 30s.
it is a relic of the past. It makes 0 sense. And like, I think that the fact that tipping post-pandemic, tipping in America has gotten really out of control, because it used to be like the standard used to be like 15% for like post. Yeah. It used to be like 15%. You go to stores nowadays, it's like now they bumped it up to like 18, 20% for gratuity. And I'm like, what? Are you insane? And they don't even leave the option for anything less than that. You have to be the asshole that
It's
hits
custom.
and they're watching you, bro. They're looking at you while you're doing it. It's like, bro, these mind games. And like, first of all,
Oh, no, I'm absolutely be an asshole right in front of everyone. Nope. Unless you're doing actual service, no fucking tip. The fuck?
I
Yeah,
will.
Get outta
Wow.
here.
I will say one person I always tip when I go out is bartenders, especially if they do a good job.
I mean, you're supposed to tip your bartender. You're
Yeah.
supposed to.
But I like how most bars now have the thing where when they give you your check at the bottom of it, it already has all the percentages laid out and what that amount would be of your total. So I don't have to do the math when I'm drunk.
Oh yeah, no, I love when places do that. Like any restaurant or bars, whatever. If they just write however it is at the bottom, like, yeah, no, I'll write that in.
yeah.
Although
I think-
sometimes you have to check the numbers on that, because there have been a lot of places that have been caught falsifying those percentages and how much it
It's
actually
true.
is.
well, like, there's another thing. So in America, we have taxes, right? Sales tax and stuff like that. Well, I guess in most places in America, you have sales tax. Some places don't.
And not everything is charged with sales tax, like food items typically aren't, unless it's a restaurant.
Right. So there will be some restaurants that like they'll ask you for a 20% gratuity tip on top of your taxes as well. And it's like, why am I tipping you based off of the tax amount? Like, come on. If I get $100 bill, I order $100 worth of food, I pay, I don't know, $10 for tax, and they're like, okay, so your total is going to be $110. Give me 20% of that. It's like you're skimming so much off the top here, buddy. Like,
The
what
etiquette
the heck?
used to be you don't tip on tax or alcohol. But now it's like they want you to tip on everything.
Yeah, no, this is like everything. Like, I literally go and pick up an order from a restaurant. It's like, hey, would you like to
Yeah.
tip our staff? Like, what? I picked up my own fucking food here. You didn't do anything. Why do you want me to tip?
Yeah, seriously.
At this point, you're McDonald's, bro. I don't tip at McDonald's.
Yeah.
But I also feel bad because it's like, all right, serving jobs and service industry jobs are fucking ass. People are rude. People are entitled. So at the same time, I'm like, you know what? If someone does an excellent job, I don't feel bad giving them money. But I will begrudgingly give 10% to bad service. It's like I'm perpetuating the problem here with the tipping culture in America, where it's like I keep tipping even though I don't want to, but I still do in a small amount because I'm like, people got to eat.
Yeah,
That
because
fucking
you know
sucks.
that the places, well, especially like restaurants with servers, not so much with kitchen staff, but you know that they rely on those just to make money.
Which is worse, food service or retail service? I'd say retail.
Well, are you asking to work in or to deal with?
I'd say to work in. I worked in retail service and I absolutely hated it. People are freaking monsters.
I've worked in both. I would say that food service is worse. I didn't mind retail service because I'm a little biased because I had a manager that I worked under who actually let us berate customers.
Are you talking
Oh,
about
that's
Advance Auto?
amazing.
Hmm.
Advance
Yeah,
Auto?
yeah. When I was at Advanced Auto Parts, I had a store manager who he would have our backs too. When the district manager came in and he got complaints, like if a customer was like verbally abusing us or berating us, he would let us give it back, and he says, "I got your back."
So I
Amazing. What a
worked
champion.
worked retail service during Black Friday and the holidays.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
So like the worst possible shift to ever work in retail is that.
Mm.
Back in the day. I'm not sure. I haven't worked in retail in over like
it
15
still
years.
is. It still
So
is.
I don't know how like crazy Black Friday is compared to like 15 years ago. Because before, like, we didn't have online queues or anything like that. It was literally people lined up and hordes of like zombie apocalypse hordes of people would
Yeah.
be
It's
lined
like
up,
Dawn of
rush
the
the
Dead.
store.
John,
Yes, it's
John,
like
I
no
know a
shit.
couple people still in industries like that. It's still that bad. It's actually kind of even worse now because now, like, basically all the boomers have retired, so they're out spending money.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
So I
even worse
remember
now.
I worked at a big box store and I had to pull out some more TVs from the back, right? So I'm
Mm,
literally I go to the back to go pull out some TVs for some orders for some people who are like, hey, because they were like, they're called doorbuster sales. I think they were back then. Where
Yeah.
basically here are doorbuster. Oh, we're Black Friday. We're so cool.
Back in the day,
Freaking
J.C. Penney used to do a lot of that shit.
so yeah, I had to go pull some TVs for some people who won the doorbuster raffle or whatever the heck it was. The first people in line who got first dibs on stuff.
Mm,
And there were people lined up next to the shipping door, like where we exited in from the warehouse in the back into the store.
mhm.
And I had a freaking cart full of TVs. And I walk out, and these people just swarmed me, bro. Like freaking zombie who were like, "Rah!" and fucking just started grabbing. I'm like,
That was
ah,
that was John's 28 days later moment.
bro. I was just like, what in the fuck? And I was just like, these TVs aren't for you. These TVs are reserved. And I was like, there's nothing I could do. There's like hordes of people just clawing at them. I'm like, dude, what the? I just got out. I literally walked out of the double doors and people just descended on me. I'm like, geez, what the F, bro?
So
Oh
did
my.
you like?
So I
Did you
had
have
to
to?
go back and get more TVs that we had in stock because the people who had them are still supposed to get them, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, all right, well, obviously now I'm 3 TVs short, so that sucks. But whatever, that I'm gonna be off before anyone has to deal with that. So whatever, I don't care. This is chaos. So I had to go get 2 other people to like freaking guard the
I was
TVs
about to
to
ask.
escort it to the electronics area. It was insane.
Could just imagine someone there with a giant pole, like back.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. They're
really,
like, these
really.
TVs are reserved. You can't take them. And people are like, trying to grab them, bro.
Like fucking animals.
Can I just say, in response to this thing that Classy Ulysses said, the manager I had at Advanced Auto Parts had a saying like this. He said, "Yeah, the customer's always right, and some of them need to go right out the fucking door."
What a champion.
I
I saw a
love, man.
video that
Listen,
said that
Wade, if you're ever watching this, I love you, man. I hope you're doing well.
I saw a video that said the customers are always right is a misused quote.
Yeah,
There's actually
the full quote is the customer's always right in matters of taste.
is that what that is that
Yeah.
is? Okay.
That's the full quote, and like business took that as like, oh, the customer's always right.
Yeah, like it's insane to me that people are like, "Oh yeah, customers are king," and then, "Oh, they're God." I'm like, yeah.
Like,
Take a
sure,
book out
buddy,
of.
sure.
I mean, I understand that there's service industries in like in Japan, for example. They have amazing service industry. A lot of them
Mm.
are like just go above and beyond.
Yeah.
And they don't have a tipping culture there because they're just I don't know. It's just something that they do. That's
It's
weird.
considered rude if you tip them.
Well, yeah, because it's like, oh, you think I'm not getting paid well enough? Like, it's rude to the staffers, it's rude to the people working because it's like it's their job. It's like they take pride in doing it. But also, this is coming from a country that has black companies, like a whole
Yeah.
subset of black companies and a whole bunch of anime based on the fact that people die from overworking themselves.
Mappa.
Yeah, Mappa. Like, what the heck? But, it's kind of whatever. Anyway, that was my retail story. Let's should we ask questions?
Let's actually answer our questions from Discord. By the way, I do want to point out a little late to get into this, but if you're watching this and you like what you see and want to see more, do consider supporting Anime Club After Dark. You can check the pinned comment here, or you can look down below in the description where you can find links to everything that we do. Also, give the stream here and or episode if you're watching this on Monday when it comes out when John's beautifully edited version.
Raw.
Raw. Raw. We're doing it live. Also be sure to give that a like too if you're watching it. But yeah, let's get into our Discord question. The first comes from Classy Ulysses, who has been in the chat here. Who are your top 3 cartoon, aka not anime waifus?
Oh, hold on. Let me pull up my list.
Oh, he has a list.
I write down the question so that I don't just flounder
So
around.
I'm assuming with the caveat being not anime, so we have to choose like Western animated stuff.
Yeah, cartoons. Yeah.
Even if it has an anime style, I'm counting it as a cartoon if it was like made in like the US or somewhere in the West. And I'm gonna go out right here and say number 1 is Raven from Teen Titans. I don't care what you say.
Yes, Raven has been like not just Raven. Like if you look at the whole of like the millennial cartoon phase, right? There's a bunch of like goth goth mommy like chicks just in general.
A lot.
Like I'm thinking of Sam from Danny Phantom being the first one.
Shigo from Kim Possible.
Yeah, Shigo.
Blackfire, Jinx.
Oh, there was Blackfire, Jinx, and like
and Kim's mom, Kim Possible. Let me tell you something. For those of you who don't know, Classy Ulysses is literally like our Discord server's MILF hunter. Dude's constantly posting pictures of MILFs in our Discord server.
What a champ. What a champ.
So I'm trying to think about cartoon crushes. I'm pretty sure we've done an episode about that. For a Valentine's episode, I think, or something.
I think we did, but it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Alex, who are your other 2? Like, go ahead and
well, we mentioned one, Shigo.
Okay.
I don't know if I have a.
Come on, man. You have another.
I'm trying. Yeah. See, I
look upon your ancient internet history. Who was it?
See, the problem is that my first crushes developed as like anime crushes because technically, like Misty from Pokemon is like one of my very first crushes, right? I think for a lot of people our age, that probably Misty from Pokemon.
True.
Love me a redhead. I'm trying to think of cartoons where I'm just like they're absolute like bombshells. Ooh. What was
Again, look upon your old internet history. You can just go off of
You know,
that.
it's funny now that I think about it. A lot of those ones that I can remember, like from the late '90s, early to yes, MILF does equal
truth?
peak.
Truth.
The ones that I can remember from like the late '90s, early 2000s, like I think about them and I'm like, I'm gonna say that person, but then it's like, no, it's Japanese. I just didn't realize at the time.
Bro, Nani from Lilo and Stitch, the older sister. Yo, man.
You know, that's not a bad choice. That's not a bad choice.
Yo.
Ew. Um, God, I don't
All right, while you
genuinely
guys think, I'll say mine.
don't have a third.
For my list, Raven, obviously, of course. Come on, are
Okay,
you
yeah.
kidding me? Woo! Azula, because I like
Oh
I
my.
like a lot of crazy. She is fucking nuts. I mean, full on. And Blackfire, because yeah, she made me feel things.
I'm sensing a theme here, Chinoda.
I don't
Yeah,
know
me
what you're
too.
on about, man. I don't know what you're on about.
I mean, Starfire was pretty good too. I like Starfire in the original Teen Titans.
Starfire is fucking adorable as hell and hella sexy, but you know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
I
was more of a
don't have a
Starfire guy than I
good.
was a Raven guy at the beginning.
I don't have a good third. You know what? When Teen Titans first started, because I hadn't read the comic books back then. The show is what got me to read some of the early Teen Titans comic books. Um, Jessica Rabbit. There we go.
Hey,
Oh,
yo.
Oh, Lola Bunny. That's my
Lola
third.
Bunny.
That's
Freaking
my
Space
third.
Jam, bro. And that day, like, the catalyst event for a lot of furries was Lola Bunny from Space
Yes.
Jam. Just like, I know that without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. Um,
it's I remember when I was really young, when we were in
y'all
Cali.
just sleeping on Elastigirl.
When I was really young, I had this other girl that I was hanging out with, and she just made me watch the Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and like just kept on replaying the parts with Jessica Rabbit and kept staring at me. I'm like, what do you want? I didn't realize at the
Bro,
time
that's
she
kind of
was
weird
searching for me.
behavior.
It was really weird,
That's
man.
kind of weird behavior. Not gonna lie. Yo, you ever just like look at past memories that you have from like as a child, and you're like, oh, that was kind of fucked up.
Yes.
Fun memories, fun memories.
Did I tell you guys about the time I almost got abducted?
I think you've told me, but I don't know if you've told this story on the podcast.
Reveal to the
Oh, yeah.
world,
All right.
John. Reveal.
So, back when I was a little babby, I don't remember how old. My parents took me and my older sister to the horse betting place.
The
It's called
racetrack.
Emerald Downs.
Racetrack.
A horse racetrack. Because they wanted to go gamble on horses. Me being a little kid, I don't care about that. And every horse I picked won, and my dad wouldn't believe that I could pick winners. So I was like, whatever, I'm gonna go find something to do. So it has an arcade at this racetrack.
Yeah.
So I went to the arcade, and I don't have any money. So I can't really play anything. So I'm just watching people play games. And all of a sudden, like, I'm looking at the air hockey table. I'm like, man, I really wish I could play air hockey. And like, this guy just comes up out of nowhere. Is like, hey, do you want to play some air hockey? I was like, yeah, like, what the heck, you know? And then he's like, we play air hockey for a round. He's like, hey, do you want to make this fun? Like, if you beat me in air hockey, I'll give you $20. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna beat this guy at air hockey and get $20 so I can play air hockey and play arcade games, right? So dude whoops me, and because he's like a full grown ass adult. And I'm just like, oh damn, like, what the fuck? I can't believe I just lost. So then he's like, hey, if you follow me into the bathroom, I will give you $50 instead. Now, little Babby me, I did not, none of my like
None of
trained.
your fight or flight responses had kicked in.
Well, funny enough, so I was never told like stranger danger or nothing like that growing up from like my parents, because immigrants and stuff like that. I don't really worry about shit like that. Because they're usually like hovering over you, but because we're at the racetrack and they're having a bad day losing all their damn money, I was just kind of just alone by myself. So I look at the guy and I'm like, nah, that's too much effort. Like, fuck that. Like, you're being weird. So I just leave. And I think about that moment all the time because I'm like, holy shit, I was about to get like assaulted, bro. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy, isn't
Your
it?
laziness kind of saved you there.
Yeah, for real.
Bro, I was not suspicious of this man whatsoever. Like, why would a random stranger want to just play air hockey with a random ass Asian kid and then offer him $20 to play him a game? And then, like, no triggers were going off in my mind. It was freaking nuts. And I think
Yeah.
back to it now and I'm like, holy crap, what the fuck?
You were nearly an Amber Alert.
Bro,
Or worse.
or worse. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, you've told me that story before, but I don't think you've ever told that story on the podcast. If you have, it's been a very long time.
I
And
don't
now
remember if
it's
I
on
ever
the
talked about
internet.
it on the actual podcast, but yeah, like core memories as a child is kind of a weird thing because I don't remember a lot from my childhood, but there are
Mm.
certain things that I would just eventually remember or just unlocks for some reason or another. And I'm like, yo, what? Why did that happen?
Huh, that was rather traumatizing.
I wouldn't say I'm
Anyway.
traumatized from it because, again, I didn't get abducted or nothing, but I
No,
was
not
like,
that, but
holy
like,
shit, how easy was it to just abduct kids back in the freaking early 2000s, man?
Or yeah, even in the 90s or 80s, man.
Yeah, like, wow. Like, I
Uh,
see, like, I think
uh, uh,
there was a
go
YouTube
go
video I
ahead.
watched where a guy, I'm not sure if you guys know who Joey Salads is.
no.
I know the name.
Okay, so he was a Vine kind of star influencer, funny
Oh, now I
comedian,
know
haha
exactly who
man,
you're talking about.
turned YouTuber who did reactionary content where he paid people to do things like during like the Black Lives Matter movement, he paid people to like pretend to try to beat him up because he went to like a black neighborhood and had a white lives matter or all lives matter poster.
Oh,
Yeah,
yikes.
he faked a lot of content. He would pay a lot of people to do controversial things, and he's like, "Oh, it's just a social experiment. It's just a social experiment."
It's just a
And
prank,
then
bro.
and then he ran for I believe like governor or something or mayor or something of his city. Yeah, he's from like the East Coast. And he's like, and I was just like, yo, what? Joey Salads is running for an actual position of power. Like, do not let this man in power. What the hell is going on here? Anyway, he's back to making YouTube content, I guess, because that didn't pan out for him. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I'm not that invested in his lore, but I just saw a video of his, a short came across my feed like a couple days ago where it's like he goes and talks to like a parent at, again, they could just be paid actors. I have zero idea. Because again, he has been exposed and known for faking his reactionary content.
It would not be new for him to do it.
It would not be new. So, but he goes to a parent at the park. He's like, "Hey, like I'm Joey. Like, what's your name?" And they introduce themselves. Like, you got one of your kids is here? They're like, "Yeah." It's like, "All right, how well do you think your kid? Like, I'm running a social." He actually says it to a camera and says, "I'm running a social experiment right now. Like, we're being recorded. How well do you think your kid is trained for about stranger danger and stuff like that?" It's like, are you willing to participate in this experiment where I talk to your kid and try to see if I can get them to go with me somewhere? And the parents like, yeah, I tell him about that all the time, this and that. Then he goes up to the kid and he's like, hey, and he has a puppy, like the fucking
Oh boy.
actual like puppy. And he goes like, hey, like, oh, you really like him, huh? And it's like, do you want to? I have more puppies in my car. Do you want to go see them? He's like, just follow me. And then he like takes the girl by the hand and walks off with her. And then the short ends, and I'm just like, you know, I was a dumb kid once. I probably would have fell for that. Because again, I wasn't taught stranger danger as much as I don't know how much kids are taught stranger danger these days because it
Oh,
seems
I
like
was
kids
taught it
are
a lot.
yeah,
I don't
like
think they're being taught it too much these days because they're not even being let out.
It's true.
I mean kids be doing crazy stuff online for people
But
who just DM them, so it's kind of nuts.
it's
Yeah,
true, but
that's
a
right.
lot of that stuff, their crazy stuff they're doing is in their own bedrooms.
Yeah. So
If you're
I
if
was
you're
like,
if
I don't
you're
know
8
if
years
this
old and listening to this, which you shouldn't be, but if you are 8 years
yeah,
old and
no.
listening to this and some random person online says, "Hey, show me your tits," don't do it.
Even if they're not a random person,
That's
don't do
true.
that.
Even if it's someone you know, don't do it.
Yeah, so I don't know if that video was fake, but it did make me think about the story about the time I almost got abducted.
Nice.
Because I was like, I was a stupid kid like that once.
You're the reason. You're the reason we still get alerts.
Bro,
Yeah.
I was almost a milk carton kid, and you don't even know.
So next question. We've all answered the question about cartoon waifus, right?
You guys
I
didn't
didn't
even
answer
complete
because
your list.
Yeah, well, because I can't think of
I
any
said
anymore.
I said Raven, Lola Bunny, and Shigo from Kim
Oh, okay,
Possible.
okay. So John's the missing one out.
Okay, I used to have a huge crush on Daphne from Scooby Doo.
All right.
Oh,
I have
okay.
since refined my taste
To
and
Velma.
realized that Velma is obviously the superior choice.
Obviously.
Listen, nerdy girls
Obviously.
are the best.
Well, just like how I used to think like, oh, I was a big Starfire fan, but now I'm more of a Raven fan.
Mm. All
But
right.
Sam from Danny Phantom, just I love Sam. She's a dork. She's a goth dork.
All
Very
right, so
fun.
the next question comes from New Vegas Savior and asks Big Iron, aka Revolver, or automatic pistols.
Bro, the song goes big iron on his hip for a
Exactly.
reason.
Okay, so as a purveyor,
Connoisseur
enjoyer,
of guns.
connoisseur, thank you. I'm not much of a connoisseur. I like to shoot pew pews from time to time. I've shot 6 shooters, 5 shooters, and whatnot.
And
500
sometimes he
Smith and
shoots those
Wessons.
pew pews at Mises and elks and deers.
Meese, mighty
Moose.
Mises, many meese. Anyway, it. I feel like a lot of people. I think that. How do I explain this? I'm trying to make sure we don't get just instantly shadow banned by YouTube for saying this.
What?
Choose
What
your
list are
next
you
words
on, John?
very carefully.
Okay, when it comes to pew pews, it's everyone has like their own opinion. Men will literally people will literally
Bizarre
just
guns.
have a like they have chosen their team of these are guns are the best, top of the line. Nothing will ever outcompete them, and that's just it. Like I'm a Sig guy. I love Sigs. I think that Sig Sauer can do no wrong and make me all my guns and sights. Right. Uh, so I'm very biased towards semi-automatic pew
Real
pews.
quick, when I was much younger and I didn't know how to say the name of that company, the first time I saw the name of that company was in the Arm is Foul books, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Butler always carried one of their guns, but whenever I read it, I thought it was said Sig Saucer because I'm like,
Six
Sig
saucers.
no, literally because that's how it was spelled in there. I'm like, is that really a gun? Like, is that how it's spelled?
Yeah,
Anyways,
I think that in terms of ease of use for like everyday carry purposes, for whatever you need to carry it for like hunting and stuff and other legal means, because we can carry it for other reasons, and depending on your state, you can carry it for other reasons. Like for us in Washington, you can have it concealed. You can also carry it for recreational sporting stuff, like to and from recreational. Like if I go hiking out in the woods and it's like, yeah, there's bears and cougars that show up here, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be packing. You no doubt. Like, sure, I could have bear spray. You know what's way better than bear spray?
A gun.
A gun.
You know what's even better than a gun? A grenade.
Yeah, but I'm not legally allowed to have those yet.
yet.
Do you know I
But
recently found out something? You know Massachusetts of all states is an open carry state?
Why does that surprise you?
yeah, what does that surprise you?
I don't know why it surprises me. It just does. Like I feel like of all places, that would probably not be on the top of my list to be open carry.
Yeah, Texas just rolled over like a couple years ago. They rolled into open carry. Guess what? I've been able to open carry in Washington forever. It's always been allowed here.
It's not allowed here.
No,
That should be shocking to you. Florida is not an open carry state. It is open
that's so
carry
crazy.
it's open carry for knives and swords, but not for guns.
Considering how lax your gun laws are in Florida compared to like the rest of the states, it's insane to me that you don't have open carry laws. But Washington, you got to understand, is it's basically 2 sections. There's the Western Washington, which is like your typical city life, like Seattle, Tacoma, Everett, and then there's
Civilized.
It's Los Angeles light.
yeah, it's
Actually, yeah,
basically
kind of.
no,
Kind of.
it basically is LA light. And then there's the rest of Washington, which is just like Eastern Washington, for example, and the rest, which is
It's
it's
Western
all
Idaho
wood.
is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's just Western Idaho. It's all wooded areas, big plains and stuff like that. Areas where if you're going to go on a hiking trail, you're more than likely going to run into some things that want to eat you.
That's very real.
You know, it's funny you mention this.
Oh,
There was
no.
recently an arrest that happened because of this.
Oh, I saw that
Here in
story. I
Florida.
know what you're talking about.
What, are you not allowed to duel in Florida?
You're not allowed to duel, but you are allowed to open carry swords.
Well,
That's even the
because
point.
you know what
Some
else
people
is funny?
interpret that as it's okay to duel with the swords.
Well, in Washington, we can actually like challenge someone to a fist fight legally.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually do an act of combat here in Washington.
Honestly, just have a public place where that's allowed. Have a
No,
medical team on
it's so
standby.
funny. Washington as a state is like, it's so progressive in some things and it's so ass backwards in others, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, do you wish to have an act of combat? Have some pugilism? Like, sure, why not? You can challenge someone to a duel and do some fisticuffs. Like, what?
This is also very true.
Florida, yeah. I mean,
Do you know that here in Florida, if you use one as a weapon, an alligator is legally classified as a missile?
What?
If you
Wait, hold
attempt
on,
to use an alligator as a weapon, it is legally classified as a missile.
I mean, that makes
That
sense.
is a legal.
Like, if you took it
hole
and
that
you
I-
threw an alligator, it'd be pissed off and it'd probably try to attack whatever it landed next to. So it's kind of
They
like
were forced to actually make this legal classification after someone did exactly that. They threw an alligator through the drive-through window at a McDonald's, and they
What
did
the-
not know how to classify the nature of the weapon.
I have seen that video. It's like a tiny baby alligator.
But they still had to classify it because it was being used as a weapon.
I didn't realize that was in Florida, but I guess like where else but Florida, right? It's an
The only
alligator.
other place that would make sense to be is in Louisiana.
Oh, true. Oh, that's wild. That
Yes,
actually
someone
is
in
wild.
Florida did indeed make an air cannon and put a gator in it.
That is just I assumed they'd get charged with like animal cruelty or stuff, but then I'm like, oh well, I don't think like I'm pretty sure alligators are protected, right? In Florida,
Alligators are a protected species here in Florida. You can't
Yeah,
hunt
Excuse
can't
you.
just-
Those are just Floridians. What are you talking about?
you can hunt the Floridians. You can't hunt the alligators.
good. The swamp kitties did nothing wrong.
Yeah, here in Florida, they are a protected species. Now, like the ones that you like, because there's a lot of restaurants here in Florida that serve like gator meat or specifically gator tail. It's very good, by the way. Those are farm raised. Those aren't. They don't go out in the wild and shoot them and cook them
I
up.
figured, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I didn't
farm
think you
raised
had a gator problem. I think like your gator population is declining because like they're getting less and less land.
Well, that and there's also the invasive species that were released out in South Florida. The Burmese
like the-
python.
Oh, I didn't.
They
eat
literally
gator?
will. They don't give a fuck. They'll just go and attack an alligator and they'll win.
Oh
Wait,
my God.
what?
Have you
Well,
ever
it's a
seen a
python,
Burmese
so-
python? They're huge.
Yeah, they're giant.
Oh,
The thing is that people were buying them like back in the 90s and early 2000s as pets, and they didn't realize how big they would get when they became adults, and they couldn't take care of them. And they couldn't store them anywhere, so they just took them out in the Everglades and threw them in a place where they have no natural predators.
Yeah, I know that in Florida you have a bunch of invasive species that you can you kind of just have an all points bulletin to just kill, like lionfish, for example.
Lionfish or they put bounties on those. The state puts out bounties on those every year.
Yeah, if you see them while you're fishing, you just kill them.
Yeah. Same with the Burmese python. There's like twice a year, I think, now that they have bounties on pythons.
I also think I don't know if it's in Florida that you can hunt like wild boar with a helicopter. I don't. That might be Texas. You know.
I know
to be
you
honest.
can hunt
fuck?
wild boar here because we have quite a few of them. I
Yeah,
don't know if
there's,
it's from a helicopter specifically, but
There's a certain state that they have a huge like wild boar problem. So there is an actual industry where you can go hunt wild boar from a fucking helicopter with like
Damn.
a rifle. It's freaking awesome. I'd love to do that.
I'd rather face a gator than a snake. I mean, fair. Gators, listen, gators are very misunderstood. Typically, if you leave them alone, it's fine. Oh, someone's saying hi to you in the chat, John.
Hi, Sean.
All right, so
Wait,
are we?
you guys didn't answer the question. Semi-auto.
I said
iron?
big iron revolver.
Okay.
I
alright.
literally said it. I was the first one to say it.
All right. Well, let me tell you why you're freaking wrong. All right.
Okay.
So you freaking fuds. No, I think that I personally would prefer a semi-auto over a 6-shooter or something like that, like a big iron. However, it depends, right?
Mm.
For a lot of revolvers, like a big iron is a revolver. For people who don't know that, uh, for a lot of revolvers, they're very simple. Uh, they have a lot of practical use. Like the maintenance on them is extremely simple
Oh
compared
yeah,
to like a
keeping them clean
semi-automatic.
is very easy.
Yeah, because it's just like here's a cylinder, here's the hammer. You pull the pin and it pushes the hammer, hits the bullet. Like it's very, it doesn't fail.
Talking about
Like
guns.
a a big iron, like a 6-shooter will never jam like a semi-automatic could. A semi-automatic, it could like there's so many moving parts to it. Like it could snag on stuff, it can jam. There's a lot of things that could just make it not want to work. Versus a 6-shooter, it's like as long as there's nothing wrong with your hammer, you're good to go. It's gonna shoot.
Yeah, that's one of
Oh,
those guns that you can just like pull through the mud and it'll just keep firing. It's as long as the hammer works and the internal mechanism works, it's
yep.
fine.
It's a simple safety. It's a simple release that goes hammer and then hammer down.
Yes, the
Bang.
classic M1 Garand. Thank you, the best gun ever made.
I'll be right back. I have to go feed a puppy. So you guys
Uh-oh.
keep
Oh,
going.
He's
okay.
got puppy duty.
Yep.
I'm on observation duty.
I
don't.
talked about this during the last stream that I had heard of it, but or not the last stream, the stream before that when we were playing Lethal Company. I've heard of
So
it, but I haven't played it. I've watched people play it though.
I know about a game called Observation Duty. Is that the same thing?
I'm assuming that's this. I don't know. I'm assuming that's the same title because if it's the one I'm
Oh
thinking
yeah,
of,
yeah, yeah. It is. Yeah, I've seen Ensign play this.
okay, so it is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've watched people play it myself, but I haven't played it. Or the Tommy gun from WTF. This is a good gun too, but neither of those are
No, it's
pistols.
not. Tommy gun is not a good gun.
Hey, it's a good looking gun. And honestly, my pick of revolver over semi-automatic pistol is just for aesthetics.
So the reason why I say Tommy guns aren't good guns is because because of how the feeding mechanism worked on it for the ammo. Like it takes forever to reload the freaking like little round thing.
Yeah. I mean, they
It
made a
also
version
has
of it that
problems.
was just a basic magazine. That was the one they used in World War II.
Yeah, because the extended drum ones were such a pain in the ass to load, and they would always fucking fail to feed.
Hmm.
That's a problem with like a bunch of
Oh, the Desert Eagle, man, that hurt my wrist when I fired that shit.
you couldn't handle a small freaking 50 AE. Like, come on, bro.
Okay.
500. Try 500 Smith and Wesson, bro.
The
Oh,
30-06.
my cat. Hello.
Uh-oh, his cat. Man, everyone's got their animals.
What you doing? Okay, bye.
Oh, okay.
She ran away.
Oh,
I think
the
the
cat
cat
ran away. That's a shame.
She
Didn't want to
attacked
talk
my
to you.
chair for like a split second and then just ran away. I think she wants attention.
All right. Well, I'll ask the question again when Shinoda comes back because I don't think he can hear me right now. But we'll move on to the next question. It comes from your wife, John.
Oh my god. When did I get a cat? Like last week. What's up, Charles?
What anime character could lift Thor's hammer?
Oh.
And why is it the Major from Ghost in the Shell?
What are you doing? I don't think the Major could lift Thor's hammer. So
Oh,
the
really?
entire I don't know too much about Thor in general and stuff like that. However, I do know that apparently only people with like a pure heart could lift Thor's hammer. And apparently,
worthy.
yeah, you have to be worthy of lifting it because you have to have a pure heart. However, apparently in one of the comics, like even Thanos can lift the hammer or something.
Yeah, I mean, in the if I recall, in the one of the Marvel movies, Captain America is able to move it but not lift it. Like
Nope.
he can move it across.
No. He can lift the hammer. He literally uses it to fight in Endgame.
Okay, well, I never saw Endgame, so
He grabs the hammer. Like one of the biggest iconic scenes in the in Endgame was he gets Thor's hammer and he goes, "Avengers, assemble."
I
He has Thor's
never
hammer. It's
saw
like,
Endgame, so I
"Dun,
never saw
dun,
that.
dun, dun."
Who's my favorite Avengers character? Whichever one ends the franchise the fastest.
I really like Tony Stark. I think Iron Man's cool. I like the
Hmm.
movies. Robert Downey Jr. I like him as Iron Man.
Do you hear
Cool.
what Christopher Nolan said about Robert Downey Jr. and why he cast him in Oppenheimer?
No.
Because he didn't want to see the last like half of his career be mired in obscurity.
That's so messed up. I mean,
I
it's
mean, he's not
true.
wrong. He's not wrong.
I will always remember Robert Downey Jr. as the um as Sherlock Holmes from the movie
Okay.
franchises.
Okay.
However, I will now remember him forever for Tropic Thunder because I'm not gonna lie.
Yes. I love Tropic Thunder.
When I watched Tropic Thunder, I didn't know who Robert Downey Jr. was. So I didn't understand the whole joke about like what was like I didn't understand that he wasn't actually black in
Oh.
Tropic Thunder.
Oh, you
Like
poor sweet child.
All right, what did I
Was
miss?
that the last use of blackface in a major Hollywood movie?
uh probably I have no idea.
The scene I was thinking of where Captain America moves the hammer but doesn't lift it is from Age of Ultron. That makes sense. I
Yeah,
did see
because
Age
they
of
were
Ultron.
talking about like they were having like a drinking party or whatever where they're like talking about people who could lift the hammer, right? And then I believe Captain America looks at it and goes, "Nah," or something, or moves it. It's like he slightly nudges it or something to just like tease at the fact that he can wield the hammer because Captain Rogers is pure of heart, so he can lift Thor's hammer. He is
Yeah.
worthy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know too much about the comic book series to tell you about what are the actual requirements of lifting Thor's hammer.
Mhm.
It's not pure of heart, if I remember right.
I always just thought it was you have to be deemed worthy by the hammer in order to lift it.
I have no idea. So
There are
I
requirements.
honestly,
It's in the comics.
yeah. See, I'm not I'm
I
not a
don't
big
care,
comic guy, so I can't really tell you.
and I don't care. I mean, yeah, I mentioned it on a previous stream. I will one day probably play I'm on observation duty. I don't have the game yet, but I will probably play it at some point.
Oh, I'd love to play it. Like it's just a memory game and it's creepy.
Yeah, you just got to find the anomalies, and before they get you,
Anomalies.
Batman can lift Thor's hammer. Okay, got some universe crossing here, but fine, it's fine. I don't know if there's any anime characters that could lift Thor's hammer, but I mean,
I'd have to once Chinoda figures out what the requirements are for Thor's hammer, then I'll have to compare it to the list.
Tanjiro from Demon Slayer.
I feel like probably, dude. Tanjiro would probably lift Thor's hammer. Why wouldn't he? He's a pretty innocent guy. Believes in like the good of people and stuff like that. I feel like Mash Burn Dead. Burn Dead? Burn Dread?
Burn
Whatever his
Dread.
last name.
Haven't
Mash
even
from
seen it yet,
Mashable
and I
could
know
probably
his
do it.
name.
I think Mash could do it purely because he's so strong. Not because he's pure of anything or is worthy. He's just so strong he could lift up Thor's hammer.
Hmm. Saw a fan
Mr.
comment.
Rogers lifts it.
Mr. Rogers could definitely lift Thor's hammer. Fred Rogers could. You know what? Bob Ross could lift Thor's hammer too.
I seen the fan comic about Mr. Rogers lifting up the hammer. He's like talking to Thor because Thor doesn't think he's worthy or something.
Yeah.
Because it's right after the stuff that happens to Thor. And it's like
Uh,
really solid life advice stuff. And it's like, what the heck?
so, what are the requirements, Chinoda?
So there it is. There's a lot of different things that say it, but the general thing from what it looks like is heroism, which is selflessness, sacrifice, and doing without thinking. Basically, being a hero.
Tanjiro could definitely lift Thor's
Tanjiro
hammer.
could definitely do it. Then, yeah.
100%.
So could Naruto. Literally any
Yeah.
shonen protagonist. Then what?
Well,
Freaking
any
Deku from My
shonen
Hero could do it.
protagonist that has like the power of friendship on their side.
Yeah.
Floyd Hammer? What? No, we're talking about
We're
Mjolnir.
talking about Thor's hammer from
Yeah.
Marvel. Almost, I almost just said comic books. Like, okay, sure.
But yeah, basically a true hero.
So pretty much every shonen protagonist, like John said.
Could Lelouch from Code Geass lift Thor's hammer?
I think he's too ambiguous. He's too much of like an anti-hero.
No,
But he's
I don't
selfless.
think so.
He literally
selfless.
died to save the world. He is anime Jesus Christ, if you really think about it.
I don't think
So
so.
no
I think
JoJo main
it's
except Jonathan. You're absolutely right. Jonathan is the only Joestar that could lift that hammer.
Basically, yeah.
If you think about it, Joseph is a womanizer. Josuke is what is Josuke's disqualification? Josuke might be able to do it too. He's kind of mostly pure.
he's a
Actually, no, he's
cheater.
no Jonathan.
No, Jonathan.
Not Jonathan. Joseph is the cheater. I don't know what
Joseph is.
I think Josuke could
Giorno
do it.
straight up murders people.
Yeah, Giorno's a literal mafioso.
Jolene kind of a slut, not gonna lie.
Well, that doesn't disqualify you. Like Thor's a slut.
Um,
Thor's
anyway.
a huge slut, actually.
should we move on to the next question?
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about this, Sean, because it was one of the questions from the Discord.
Yeah, we normally get questions in our Discord for our WTFs, and we talk about them on these episodes.
So the next question comes from New Vegas Savior again. This also came with a picture. I'll put it up once I actually find the damn picture. But the picture is, what is your favorite type of mecha?
So, I remember seeing this picture. I had a discussion.
I'll put it up. I'll put it up in just a second here. But go ahead.
Was it in? It was
got
in
it.
Ask Us Anything, right? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I got it. I found it.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go. Wow, that is really,
Oh,
really
it's
tiny.
super tiny.
Hold on, let me see if I can
Zoom, enhance.
Zoom, enhance.
Zoom,
enhance.
enhance.
Wow, it's very blurry.
All right. So, I personally think Neon Punk is super cool, right? I also think Real Robot is super cool. If I had to pick one that's a favorite, probably Super Robot. Mainly because with Super Robots, it's like you can basically just do whatever you want and just like get away with it because it's sci-fi bullshit.
I mean, one of the examples here is Gur and Laga. They're literally throwing galaxies at each other by the end.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just feel like because it's like what does it say? It's the mecha equivalent of a superhero.
Yeah.
Like I like those type of mechas. However, I'm pretty sure like realistic mecha are gonna be the future. If anything is like gonna be a thing.
Yeah, like almost like the AT-AT walkers from or the ATSTs from Star Wars.
Yeah, but
go down
Neon
a little
Punk
bit.
and Real Robot are also super cool in my opinion, just because it's if it's fantasy and I can just enjoy having them in world than those. But that's not to discount. Like I just like mechas, all mechas in general. Like even the near future mecha, like they have in like Appleseed, for example. Those are really cool too. Like they're all of these mechas are cool in their own right.
Yeah.
So
there is no mecha we don't love. Let's put it like that, real quick.
This list goes in the shell under near future, but I was gonna ask, do the Tachikomas qualify as a mech? Because you can sit inside them.
So
I would consider those tanks.
They are. They're. Well, I mean, they're based on the spider tank from the actual Ghost in the Shell game or universe.
Manga.
Yeah. So it's like, well, yeah, they're technically they're tanks, but isn't a mecha just a walkable tank? Like, come on.
Kind of.
I mean, yes, absolutely.
Like you look at the battle tech, right? The Steel Battalion. Look at that. Are you telling me that's not a walking tank?
As for
Or
me,
the,
I think Real Robot has got to do it for me because grow up watching freaking Gundam Macross playing Armored Core. Like, come on, that's where my heart is. And hell, I love the Titanfall ones as well.
Okay.
But Super Robots are really fucking cool.
Yeah, they are really cool.
Yeah, they're just cool by design because they're supposed to be like superheroes, but mechs.
So my personal opinion is I kind of view mechs the same way I view like any kind of other technology in sci-fi or magic in fantasy stories. I want it to be practical. I want it to look practical. I want it to like actually have more than one use. And that's kind of why I brought up the Tachikomas, because you see them being used for many, many things in Ghost in the Shell. Like they're used for transport, they're used to fight, they're used to
intel.
Yeah, they're used to gather intel.
But they're just stealth tanks. They're just,
they kind of are.
They're assault vehicles.
But like I'm trying to think like what mecha series or series that has a mecha in it is the most utilitarian. And I'm assuming I'm kind of I guess I'm going with utilitarian is my my choice because I want it to be more useful for more than one thing. Useful for more than just fighting.
Yeah, utilitarian would be like I think like the loader from oh, she's having zoomies over there.
Uh-oh.
The loader from oh my god. Oh my god, what is it? Alien.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
Alien.
mech. I would count that as a mech.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
mech.
definitely a mech.
It's a loading mech, but it's a mech.
Yeah.
But that's like a utilitarian type of loading mech.
But I like stuff like that. And I also like I kind of ascribe the same thing to like magic and fantasy stories and technology in general and sci-fi. I want it to be utilitarian. I want it to be able to be used.
Right.
Anyway, that's my answer. I guess we all answered that, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
What's my favorite Disney movie? Lion King.
Brother Bear.
Oh, he's got to think about this one.
I didn't even have
Mulan?
to think about it.
Mulan. Okay, Mulan's not a bad
Okay,
choice.
yeah.
Let's get down to business.
Yeah.
John, you got to finish it. You're legally obligated.
I am not legally obligated.
Don't
Why?
ma-
Because I'm
don't
Asian?
make Disney
Because I'm
copyright us.
Asian? That's kind of racist, buddy.
No, because I've heard you sing it before, and you actually sing the song pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, I love the song. It's amazing. The Chinese version where Jackie Chan sings is also really good, by the way.
Is he the one that's singing it in the Chinese version?
Yeah, it's Jackie Chan.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Also, my favorite horror movie is The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, not the remake that happened in like the early 2000s, I think.
I like that remake though, because it's a prequel.
I guess.
I think it's
It's-
pretty cool.
It's not as
But
good
yeah,
as the original, though.
My
No,
favorite,
hold
absolute
on.
favorite horror
Wasn't
movie.
Atlantis the Lost Empire done by Disney?
I have
believe-
no idea.
I believe it was a Disney movie, yes.
Yeah, that's my favorite then. Atlantis the Lost Empire. This is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Okay. All right.
It's a pretty good movie. Yeah.
It's a great movie. I just don't remember if it was done by Disney or not. I think it was, but I'm not 100% sure.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know.
All right. Should we go on to the last question we have?
Yeah.
All right. The last question comes from Classy Ulysses. Do you think the quality of ongoing manga, aka manga that are 100 plus chapters, has gone
Disney.
down? I think the chapter or the quality of anything that lasts a long time typically goes down in general.
I disagree.
think-
I think it can either go up or if it's if the author doesn't have a necessarily clear vision, it can go down. Now,
I think that
yeah.
for long running series, the quality just has to dip. You know, it's just like it can't be peak all the time. Like no matter what you're writing, it just can't.
I mean,
So
you're
if it
not
doesn't
wrong.
naturally come to a close, then like everything has a natural wax and wane. There it goes. It leads to a natural crescendo of the show, and then it falls off. Like it's just a thing for all types of media. It's not just manga in general, though.
I mean, yeah, it's for any kind of fiction. Whether you're talking about a book series, a television show, a movie franchise, it's the same thing. When it goes on for too long, the creative vision just drains out of it, especially if by a certain point the people that started it are no longer making it. I mean, all you got to do is look at something like SpongeBob. When Steve Hillenburg left, that show went downhill fast.
yeah,
Or
full on agree.
I would also argue, although people will debate me on this, Seinfeld, when Larry David left, also went down in quality. At least in terms of its comedy.
I don't know if it's because specific people leaving the project. Like I understand what people mean by like Hillenburg when he left SpongeBob, but I think SpongeBob was on the decline before that.
Maybe.
Same thing for Seinfeld. I think they were on the decline way before that.
The only reason I think people will debate me on the Seinfeld thing is because there are some classic episodes in the last 3 seasons.
Well, so like I look at a show like Community. If you guys ever seen Community. So the before I think the Russo brothers worked on Community. They're the ones who were in charge of. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were the ones in charge of the Paintball Wars stuff episodes and the cinematography and all that stuff.
That
those
episodes. That does seem
And
very Russo-esque.
They're the ones who because of that, it actually is why they got to do Marvel. Because of that.
Oh,
because they're like, dude, those paintball scenes episodes were awesome. Like, can you guys do that for our movies? I'm like, yeah, sure, we can make it a big action thing. But no, I think that so with Community, season 1 and 2 happened, and then like season 3 it starts going down, but that the original creators were still there. And then I believe season 4 is the one that 2 other guys stepped in to be the like main producers for, and the original team left. And then they like came back for and then like season 4 did so terribly that they're like, okay, we'll hire back the people who wrote the show, like Dan Harmon and his crew. But then you get season 5, and then I think it ends at season 6. I'm pretty sure they got 6 seasons. And it's just like the quality of the show never recovered.
Yeah.
And you can you can blame like, well, it's because season 4 happened. It was a different writers and stuff like that. And it's like, no, the quality was dipping at season 3, and think they wrapped it up perfectly fine at season 3. Like it could have ended at season 3 and it had been fine. But then we unfortunately had to suffer through season 4, 5, and then 6. Subsequently 6.
Yeah, I think that in general, unless you have a clear creative vision from the start to the end of whatever it is you're making, whether it's a manga, a light novel series, anime, book series, whatever, I think it's going to naturally dip in quality if you don't have a set in conclusion that you're aiming for.
yeah, if you don't
Right.
have a plan.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of the reason why many well, I was gonna say Seinfeld again, but many sitcoms don't have good endings, and they start to really dip in quality toward the end because most sitcoms have like a central premise but no built-in conclusion.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Seinfeld, the worst episode of Seinfeld is the final episode. It sucks. You look at Friends, the worst episode of Friends, final episode.
I'd argue that the worst episode of Friends is all of the episodes. Friends is
Well,
not funny.
okay, Friends a
Hater.
bad example because it
Haterade.
has not aged well.
Friends is not funny. I listen, my ex-brother-in-law loved the show Friends. I don't know why. And I remember watching it on TV as a kid, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember watching it." And then I recently rewatched it, like an episode or two from like different, because I was like, "Oh, I keep seeing shorts of it, right?" And every time I see these shorts, I'm like, "This wasn't funny. This wasn't funny." And then so I decided to go watch a couple of episodes, and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm not laughing." Like you might get a couple of chuckles out of me, like, "Huh, yeah, that was kind of funny." Like it's a situational funny, but I
Mhm.
wasn't like fucking dying. Like I'm like, "Oh my god, this show is so good." Like I am with other sitcoms, like like Community. I love Community. It's hilarious. Or like oh my god, what's the one with the Bluths with
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development? That one actually, I remember. I think it was Charles that was like, "Yo, Arrested Development's hella funny," and I was like, "Yeah, whatever, bro." Then I watched it, and I was like, "Okay, he was right. It's super fucking funny."
Have you guys ever seen What We Do in the Shadows?
No, I will
No.
never watch it because my wife loves that series, that show, and I refuse to engage in anything that she loves out
What
of
a
pure spite.
what a healthy relationship.
Listen,
No
because
wonder you got the cat.
right, let me ask you a question, Alex.
Hmm?
Do you think it is smart of me, the guy who critiques every fucking thing and nitpicks every little detail about shows and series, to watch something that you absolutely love? Is that something I really should be doing?
Knowing her as much as I do, I would say yes because she's going to love you anyway.
Yeah, she's gonna love me
Yeah.
anyway, but now I'm gonna expose all the flaws in your favorite things, and now you're not gonna be able to
How do you
unsee
know?
it
How do you know you're not gonna like bring her around to your way of thinking?
because it's like I
No,
don't watch
you know
shows.
Noodle. She's happy go lucky. She's
sh-
lovely.
I don't watch shows to try to shit on them on purpose. I just call out things that I think are bad,
Mhm.
but I give like accolades to this. Like I watched Our Flag Means Death. I watched that series because she absolutely loves it, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, the series is actually all right. It's actually not terrible at all. However, it's basically a shitty offshoot of Good Omens. It's the same type of concept. It's always trying.
It's
Is an inside joke for you guys. My friend Charles, he always discovers things first in our friend group, but
Mm.
no one ever listens to him. But then I'll say it, but louder, and everyone goes and agrees with me. Like for video game
That
shows.
sucks. Charles, you have my sympathy. Holy shit.
Yeah. That sounds about right, though.
It's hilarious.
All right. Well, should we actually get into what we're talking about tonight then? Now
Yeah,
that we're
Oh,
an
yeah.
hour in. All right. I want to do this first. We could do whatever we have here in any order we want, but there's one thing I want to do first. My boy William Post died last week, and I want to pay a special tribute to this dude because one of his creations got me through college, the Pop Tart. And
Oh, yeah. The
I
creator of the
absolutely love
Pop-Tart.
these things. Yeah, William Post was the creator of the Pop Tart. He died last week. He was 96 years old, as a matter of fact.
Oh
Man,
wow.
he got to a pretty old age, like
Which is funny because because he worked for Kellogg for most of his career, and Kellogg makes a ton of stuff, cereal, breakfast stuff. I think they also own Eggo, yeah, the waffles. And the dude's name is William Post. Kellogg's biggest competitor is Post Brands. The dude did not work or was related to in any way the Post company, which I
yeah,
always
see,
I find that funny.
when I saw William Post, I was like, is that the founder of Post? Like
Mm.
all the Post stuff? But like, no, it's not. It's the founder of Pop-Tarts. However, like it's unfortunate that he's passed away. However, I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like Pop-Tarts are the single like reason we have such a huge diabetes problem in America, but whatever, right?
I don't think that's a
As he's
single
just slowly
thing.
enjoying his Pop-Tart, does not care
I love these
whatsoever.
things.
Listen.
It's okay. You know Alex is eventually gonna have
No, I
diabetes.
like Pop-Tarts. Like they're a
Mm.
good like if I don't feel like actually cooking anything, but I need to eat something. Like I used to when I go to cons and stuff, I'll
Also, my favorite is the frosted cherry.
blueberry.
Strawberry, bro.
Blueberry.
The blueberry is really good too.
Blueberry is not really good. It's the best. While the cherry, no.
I wish they'd make a blackberry one. I love blackberries.
My new
But
pants are here.
oh, nice.
Nice.
But yeah, I'd load up on Pop-Tarts for like con food stuff because it's like it's light, it's easy to pour, and it's got high calories because all the sugar and carbs. So it's something that you can have and eat that you don't hate eating because I hate eating protein bars and like granola bars and shit like that. And they're also like just not good. I've never had one that I'm just like, oh, this is amazing. I want to eat more. But I guess that's kind of the point, right? Of these healthier snack bars. You're not supposed to want to eat them because they're healthy. But I like eating Pop-Tarts, so I'd carry those around. If I had to like wait in line for stuff, I'd eat those in the morning. It's just a light, easy snack. Plus, you don't, con food costs like $1 billion.
Yeah.
You want a corn dog, $14.50. Like what? A corn dog and a small soda for $14.50? Are you out of your mind?
Oh,
No,
sorry. You want a small soda? Sorry, that's $20 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had to Pop-Tarts are really great frozen. You're absolutely right.
I never had a frozen
and people
Pop-Tart.
sleep on this shit, and I don't know why. But
Have
I
you
wanted to
tried
bring this.
the s'mores Pop-Tart frozen?
I have.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I should have done this without a drink. But no, I wanted to bring it up because number one, it's a great invention. Number two, this shit got me through college. I ate a lot
Oreo
of Pop-Tarts
cookie.
and a lot of cup noodles when I was in college.
I don't think I've ever had Oreo cookie Pop-Tarts.
Oh, those are pretty good too.
I've seen those in the store. I haven't gotten. I don't eat very many Pop-Tarts. My wife loves them. With a steady supply of them.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's been easily half a decade since I've had a Pop-Tart.
Listen, I'm diabetic. I can't have Pop-Tarts anymore. So I got to drink all this diet stuff.
That wouldn't stop me.
Yeah, I know it
That's
wouldn't.
also the reason why you're going to be first in the grave, buddy.
I don't know about that.
I'm also the oldest here.
That too.
Well, let me finish my dinner.
Alex, eat actual food. God damn it.
I know. I want to order actual food right now. I'm so hungry. But anyway, I want to talk about can we talk about Borderlands finally? Because I've been sitting on this.
All right, I'm
all
ready to shit
night,
on this.
dude.
I am ready to shit on this.
All right. So I remember, was it yesterday that you were talking about the Borderlands movie on the stream with me?
Yeah, so 2 days ago, at least at the time of us streaming this, they released the cast list, and then they said that the trailer was going to debut the next day. Well, that next day was yesterday, and the trailer did come out yesterday.
Okay, so I remember you saying, like, did you even know there was a Borderlands movie in the makes? I was like, no, I did not hear about this.
I didn't know about it until they said about the cast list either. It's like, They must have announced it that it was going to happen a while ago, and then I just completely forgot about it.
I
I've
don't remember it
actually
ever
been
being
knowing
announced.
about this for a while. I just didn't think it was actually happening until we saw, well, actual
The
results.
actual trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched the trailer last night, and I hate it. I hated the trailer. I hate everything that they're doing with the franchise. Like, I don't think that the actors in it are terrible actors. Jamie Lee Curtis, Kate Blanchett, Jack Black, whatnot. Um,
Kevin Hart.
I think Kevin Hart's a funny black man in movies. Yes, I don't think he's that bad.
Hey, look,
Chinoda,
look,
he's not
look,
that bad.
look. The
I'll
dude, the
talk
dude
about it
has
when
a
it comes to my turn.
the dude has a type, and he plays to it very well.
Yeah. Was it Big and Small? Small and Big? Whatever the one where The Rock plays as like the nerdy fat kid in high school that got bullied and then he like becomes an FBI agent or whatever the heck it was. I don't remember what that movie was, but it has Kevin Hart and The Rock. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
It was apparently it was announced last year. I just completely must have missed it.
Ride Along? Is that the movie? I don't remember.
I don't
Anyway,
know what movie you're referring to, but yes.
I think that movie was pretty funny with Kevin Hart and The Rock. I liked how they played off of each other. However, I I didn't see the cast list, so I was just assuming people based on what their appearance was. I was like, okay, that this is obviously like Kate Blanchett is obviously Lilith. Kevin Hart is obviously Roland. I don't know who plays Krieg, but why is Krieg here? He's from Borderlands 2. Tiny Tina is here, and it's like, well, she showed up in number 1, but as an NPC side quest character, she's not an actual playable character or anything like that until the later games. Can you even play as Tiny Tina? Hold on, I don't think you can you?
In the first
In one?
Borderlands, no.
No.
No, not in the first one. I'm talking about in 2.
Oh.
Oh,
I don't think you
I
can
don't
play as Tiny Tina, can you?
believe so. No.
No, she's just like a more well-written,
Fleshed out, more
well-rounded,
fleshed out character.
more fleshed out character. Yeah, she's like a fan favorite. And then there's like Tiny Tina's freaking D&D game thing, whatever it
Tiny
was.
Tina's Wonderland.
Yes,
Yeah.
that.
that was
But it's
actually good.
like Tiny Tina wasn't a big character in number 1. She's kind of just an NPC quest character that kind of just got bigger in number 2. So I'm like, okay, like Tiny Tina is part of the franchise and she is pretty popular. So I guess include her, but she's apparently part of the squad now. And I'm like, oh, okay. Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis did not make any sense because I'm like, first of all, like, Jamie Lee Curtis is kind of old. Tannis isn't that old. She doesn't play the character at all. Like, none of the characters, the actors are matching the actual characters from the video game
At all.
Jack Black as Claptrap first of all, I am not listen, I'm sure Jack Black is a very nice individual. I know that people love him. He has never made me laugh in any of his live action movies.
Okay, John, that's a you problem, buddy.
Like
The rest of
Tenacious
us like
D,
Jack Black.
Listen, no. Hear me out. All right, here's another hot take for you guys.
Oh boy.
Tenacious D is not a good movie. In fact, it was mid at best. Okay, people
Next
need
is
to
gonna
get
say
over it.
School of Rock sucked.
School of Rock was mid as well. It was
Wow.
Whoa!
Wow.
Hold on. Hold the fuck on. What are you
it's
talking
mid.
about?
All right, and it's because of Jack Black that it's mid.
Wow.
All right,
Wow.
I liked him in Kung Fu Panda. Jack Black as Kung Fu Panda was pretty funny as Poe. I like that. That was about it.
Apparently, the movie you were thinking of with The Rock and Kevin Hart is called Central Intelligence.
Oh, is it Central Intelligence? Okay.
Oh right,
I
did
wasn't
watch
sure
that.
what it was, but I do remember watching a movie.
And here I thought I had bad takes.
No. I don't have I certainly have a lot of takes. Some of them are good, some of them are just dog shit. But listen, I'm not a fan of Jack Black in movies. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy. I just don't think he's a good actor. Like in Jumanji, god awful. Okay. Tropic Thunder, god awful. Okay.
To be fair, the Jumanji remake is just god awful in general.
Yeah, I mean, but is that because of nostalgia? Like, was Jumanji really that good? And it's like, yes, because Robin Williams was in it. Anyway, point is, I watched the trailer and I'm like, none of these characters in this trailer fit the characters from the video game. Like, it'd be one thing if it was like very hot and terrible takes. Yeah, you know what? Suffer.
We have to suffer through it every day.
I think that if they wanted to make a Borderlands movie, they should have just made one in universe without having anything to do with this cast because these characters. Oh my god, Jumanji remake greater than OG? Okay,
Whoa.
classy. All
Now
right.
Okay, I
that is
don't
a
know
terrible
about
hot
that,
take.
buddy.
Yeah. This man just wants to just make worse takes than me. He needs to top me on the worst takes chart.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I just didn't think that the trailer was just like god awful. I don't like it. I don't understand why the actors are acting how they are because these characters are pretty well fucking established. They have guidelines for these characters and how to act, right? Like Henry Cavill and how he portrays Geralt is like he is the embodiment of Geralt in The Witcher. Like the
100%.
the creator of The Witcher was like, "Yes, Henry Cavill is my ideal person for Geralt of Rivia." Now, the writing of the actual show is dog water, so we don't talk about that.
But the
But
casting is good.
but Henry Cavill as
And he's
Geralt
acting
was
his
amazing.
ass off in that role too.
He does a fantastic job. I can't wait for the Warhammer movie. Anyway, I don't understand if they wanted to make a Borderlands movie with the same IP and use these characters, like why wouldn't they go to the source material? Because again, they are written out. It's not like they based it on just Borderlands 1 where their characters were kind of just like NPCs who talked kind of. It's like nope, you bringing in literally characters from Borderlands 2 when they actually flesh out the characters. So there is no reason for you to do this. Myself and John should collaborate on hot takes in X. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to say, I think Jack Black can do an absolutely fine Claptrap. Honestly, they could make him a lot more Claptrap like, and I think he could pull it
Remember
off
in
pretty
the
well. I think
trailer?
he's a good actor.
Do
I
you
do.
remember in the trailer when Claptrap is just pooping out bullets and he makes a diarrhea? There's a fucking diarrhea poop joke in the trailer.
Oh, come on. Don't act like Borderlands is
I mean,
above shit
Borderlands
and
does
pee-pee
have
humor.
that. Borderlands definitely has
No.
that.
They have potty pee pee poo poo humor. That's not the difference. The difference is that Jack Black as the actor doing it, it feels like they ad-libbed this in and they just decided to animate it for him. Like it wasn't written like that on purpose. I think it was just part of his acting.
I feel like a lot of Claptrap's lines in the games are ad-libbed.
Listen,
Honestly, it could easily be part of it.
I just don't think any of the voiced characters or any of the characters are being portrayed how they're supposed to be portrayed in Borderlands. Like at all, not even remotely close. Like when Kevin Hart playing Roland is like telling Tiny Tina, "No more explosives." And it's like, "What?" Roland would be definitely okay with that. He's the soldier character, bro. Like what?
Yeah, no, really. I have to say, Jamie Lee Curtis and Kate Blanchett, I think they're just too old for this. I don't understand why they were cast into this. They do not look or play the parts of Tannis and Lilith well. Like they're great actors, don't get me wrong. I just don't think it was the right casting for them. Now, as for Kevin Hart, he's not a good actor.
Oh,
He
boy,
is
here we
not a
go.
good actor whatsoever. He is not funny. His whole shtick is, haha, I'm small black man. And that's it. He's not funny. It
Yeah,
is
he's kind of
not
a one-trick
funny.
pony,
Send
yeah.
him back to fucking stand-up comedy and keep him there. Jesus Christ, kick him out of Hollywood. For
No, he
fuck's
can't be in
sake.
stand-up comedy anymore. Remember, he made those if my son was gay, he made those gay jokes and he got
Oh,
canceled.
right. He
Remember?
got canceled out of that.
Yeah.
Just send him back there. Someone
He's
will
doing
find it
pretty well
funny.
for someone who allegedly got canceled.
Canceled out of that. He's still doing damn fine. He's stupid rich.
Yeah, I know. He's got money. He's not suffering anything. It's fine.
No.
Oh, he's a fucking sellout that shills for gambling companies.
Does he
Fucking-
shill for gambling companies? Really?
Dude, I used to get so many ads with him shilling out for FanDuels or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't give a shit about gambling, and this just makes me hate Kevin Hart even more. Because I fucking
I did
hate
not know that
gambling.
about him.
Yeah,
Oh.
no.
He does do ads for like DraftKings and FanDuel and things like that.
All that shit.
Sports
all
betting
that
stuff.
garbage.
Well, I mean, get your bag, obviously.
I mean, I don't have a
Yeah.
problem with it. I mean,
I understand getting your bag. I understand doing ads, but there are certain companies where I'm like, if you're associating with that, I'm taking another look at you. And gambling companies is one of those. But that's a personal thing for me. That's entirely personal. I will fully say.
Okay.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. I mean, if that's a personal line for you, it's fair
All right.
enough.
Now, if you guys thought I had a shitty hot take, Alex, what's your hot take about the Borderlands trailer?
I think it looks okay. That's my hot
You hear
take.
that? You hear that, everyone? He thinks it looks okay. Now, everyone with me, point and laugh. What an idiot! This guy right here. Oh my lord!
I think when I watch the trailer, I feel like, yeah, this feels like it could be in the Borderlands universe. And that's all I
Bro.
need. That's all I need in a Borderlands movie. I don't care about the lore of Borderlands. I want it
You
to
don't
feel
care
like a
about
fun
these
And
romp.
this is why
well-established
Hollywood
characters.
loves the average white male because they can raw him like this, and he'll say, "Oh yeah, that's okay."
I mean, let's be honest. Borderlands does not have like deep probing lore.
No, but they have well-established characters.
But as long as I'm seeing characters have a fun time in this universe that's like full of crazy degenerates, I'm fine with that.
Dude, did you watch me watch the trailer? I didn't even smile a crack. You know how fucking easy it is to entertain me? I am so easy.
The Netflix Avatar live-action reviews aren't good. That's a
Oh
shame.
no, that's so much worse. Like everything I was reading about it, I'm like, holy shit, what did you do? This might be even worse than fucking Shamalama Ding Dong's movie.
Wow, what a fantastic way to say his name.
Oh my god, I completely forgot that exists.
Yeah, the M. Night Shyamalan
I completely forgot
Avatar.
that existed.
I'm sorry, John. I like
Bro, what the
peeled away a
hell?
memory layer.
I was like, M. Night Shyamalan made an Avatar movie. I'm like, you mean The Body of Water? Like, that's not an Avatar movie. What are you talking about?
John's reliving endless horror now because of me.
Bro, I forgot about the freaking Sokka and Aang. I now remember like Aang and Sokka.
It's all coming back to you now, isn't it, John? And you hate it.
Dude, what's up with Hollywood and wanting to bastardize all these franchises? Like, why?
Because they
I
see
mean-
something useful, they're trying to milk the money out of it, and because
Classy, there is no way you truly believe this. Get out of here. I'm going to time you
Whoa,
out from
no
chat.
fucking way. No
There's
way.
no
You have
way.
got to be actually trolling
He's
at the
trolling.
moment.
He's
trolling.
trolling right
He
now.
has to be.
Always trolling.
I don't know. I didn't absolutely. I wasn't vomiting when I saw the trailer. I didn't think it was great. I didn't even think it was particularly good. I just thought it was okay.
Honestly, yeah. Like, I didn't hate it, but I don't think it's going to be anything Borderlands.
And to answer John's question about why Hollywood takes these franchises and bastardize them, it's because they don't have the balls to create their own universe because it's too risky. Why would you put an enormous amount of money behind a risk for an unestablished universe when you can just borrow someone else's and fuck it up as much as you want? And then you can look at the fan base and say it's their fault this failed.
Now, I'm not sure if Chinoda was part of the pact about watching season 2 of the Halo live action.
Oh,
so that way
God.
we can our next monthly dump can be about just Halo.
I got to be honest with you, John. I think I would rather have a leech go up my penis.
Well, you live in Florida, buddy. Just jump into the water. That's probably going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
I
I kind of want to, because did you see the reviews for season 2, like the critic reviews giving it like, oh, it's way better than the
I
first,
haven't.
and
I've only seen.
How can it be worse, John? How could it be worse than the first season?
I've only seen the
he
first
puts on his
episode-
helmet more, guys. Please give the show a chance, please.
I've only seen the first episode review from Ackman, and I'm like, okay, this might not be as bad.
I kind of want to watch it, but then that would require me finishing watching season 1. And I'm like, nah.
As someone who has done that, don't.
I feel like I could watch season 2 and just get the general gist of it from all the spoilers people have been telling me anyway about the show from season 1.
My dad loves the Death Note live action. He's one of the
I
few.
actually like the Death Note live
Which
action.
live action? The Japanese one or the newest like Netflix?
Oh,
one?
Netflix one. That's a good
Wow.
question, actually.
Yeah,
You actually like the Netflix one.
I actually
I
did.
liked. So
I don't
didn't-
like. I think you have to keep it separate as a media from the anime.
yeah.
You can't compare it. but like for what it is, I like it. Like if you're
I
comparing,
think
obviously it's bad.
so.
John,
I
go
think
ahead.
that with the Netflix version, I think that Ryuk was fine. I thought the Ryuk acting was
Willem Dafoe
actually
carries that
Oh
fucking
my god,
movie.
William Dafoe,
right.
fucking
But that's just because
carries.
I'm a fan of Willem Dafoe, right?
Mm.
I think that the actor that I've said this multiple times, but the actor that played L, he just reminds me of Caleb City, the YouTuber.
Oh,
He just like this entire all I'm thinking about when I see L is like, yo, Caleb, when they cast you into Death Note, bro. Cause he plays like one of Caleb City's sketches, bro. Like I I challenge you. Go watch the guy who plays L in Death Notes in Netflix's Death Note, and then go watch a Caleb City sketch where he pretends to be an anime character. And it's like it's uncanny, bro. It's uncanny.
there's Japanese live action versions of Death Note that are actually pretty damn good.
Yeah,
People
I've
say,
heard
I
good
don't know.
things
I think
about
the
those.
first live action that I remember that came out, everyone hated. But that's because of the horrendous CGI.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look anywhere
Like
near as
Ryuk
good.
looks like a fucking Ryuk in the first Japanese live action just looks god awful.
I mean, they would have been better just putting a guy in a suit, to be perfectly honest.
The DCCW TV shows, buddy, I've watched those and they are not great. I watched them all. Well, not all of them. I didn't watch
I've never seen
Stargirl.
any of them. However, I hear that with the DCCW shows, they all start off pretty decent and then
And
they
then
all just like plummet. Yeah. Like every single one of them.
That's a
Which
lot
I've
of them.
every
That's
single
what
one.
I've heard too. Like they have like the first couple episodes are pretty damn good, and then there's
No,
like
the
this
first
cliff that they
season or
fall
two.
straight off.
yeah, the
Buddy,
first
it's
season or
straight
two
up.
are
First season
good.
or
And then like
yeah.
it just goes
Unless it's Batgirl. Apparently that sucked from the outset.
Arrow was good at the start. Yeah, I remember Charles
Arrow
saying that.
had ups and downs. I've watched a good amount of those shows. Arrow had ups and downs.
I'm like never gonna watch any of these shows. I don't
Don't
really like
don't.
whatever.
It's not worth your time.
Didn't the
As someone
Flash
who's
get
watched a
drunk and
lot of
try
it,
and kill somebody?
Like in real life,
Yeah, is Ezra
Ezra
Miller?
Miller?
That's his name. He got drunk and I think got behind the wheel of a car and almost killed somebody.
oh,
I
buddy,
think.
there's so much worse to him than that. That's like one of
yeah,
the
like
light
the
things
kidnapping
he's
thing
done.
that he's doing.
Well, that yes, I'm talking about the very first thing that came out. I'm not with all this new stuff. The first thing was bad enough.
It still boggles my mind that DC was just like, yeah, no, we're not gonna cancel Ezra Miller as the Flash. We're just gonna keep him in here. Like they're not
Yeah.
gonna replace him at all. They're just gonna leave it and like whatever, it's fine.
Well, they're resetting everything, so who cares? I watched Superman Lois. I thought that was actually a genuinely good show. I enjoyed
Is
it.
that the cartoon?
No, there was
Oh,
a live action one, and it was actually done pretty damn well.
because I remember there's that new remodel or whatever
The new
reimagining.
cartoon, yes, I
The
know
new
what you're talking
cartoon
about.
where it's like is it anime because it's animated by a Korean studio? Like I feel like it's anime at this point.
This is the one where they have Superman's
They
a
even
himbo
have an
and Lois
anime
Lane's a
OP.
milf.
No bullshit, it has an anime OP.
Yeah, like it's an anime, bro.
Yeah.
It basically is.
Is
It's
this
made
the one where
by
Superman's a
a
himbo though?
Yes,
yes.
that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah. Not what Classy is talking about, but the show we're talking about.
Yeah, the cartoon.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
no,
where
I actually
where
enjoyed the live action. It's a shame it got canceled.
Tomboy Lois Lane, yeah.
Tomboy Lois Lane.
The biggest thing that came out of that, like just Tomboy Lois Lane.
Yeah. All right, Chino, do you want to talk about Katsucon?
Oh yes.
Oh my god.
I went to
Actual.
another con. This time Katsucon. It was such a fun time. It's a party con. Panels are not the best necessarily. You have a couple that are obviously pretty good. But this con it's more about doing stuff and then partying way late at night. I'm not rich. I'm just dumb with my money.
I can attest 100% Shinoda is dumb as fuck with his money.
I would argue that a lot of people who spend money to go to cons like that, my wife included in this, are not good with money.
Like how he's looking over like very disapprovingly.
It's like,
Oh,
oh, you're
although
short a
there's
couple
a lot of
$100 for your
weebs that
bills
make
this
some
month.
damn good money.
I mean, there's a bunch of people who go to cons who have a bunch of money and can
Yeah.
afford to do that, but there's also a bunch of people who go there that probably should make better life choices.
I mean,
Absolutely.
if I had more money, would I go to more? Yeah, I only go to one a year at this point, and it's Otakon in DC. And to be
Meanwhile,
honest, as much as I go there for the convention itself, I go there more just to hang out with people
there you
because
go.
I know they're going to be there.
Oh.
Okay, Shinoda, don't get too.
It's not shoot, buddy. You ain't the guy, buddy.
I know which guy
If
it
if
is.
if 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 you take off your clothes and get in my hotel room bed, you're out.
No, it
I
was
am not
great.
as forgiving as Natai.
Not this shit again.
Dude, you were half naked in his bed.
He was just getting comfortable, bro. I
Just
don't.
getting comfortable, man. What's wrong with that?
He was one breeze away from having the boys out and flapping.
Jeez.
Anyway, Katsucon was fantastic. Had such a good time. We were partying it up until like 3, 4 a.m. every single night. It was great. Lots of booze. Lots of people just handing out free booze. Um, I ended up getting like 10 or 11 ribbons on my badge. I saw this one guy, he made a literal quilt of ribbons. He ended up getting 377 ribbons on his badge.
Jesus.
Yeah, like the picture of it was absolutely insane. But no, lots of really good cosplays. I mean, someone was cosplaying a Gundam, and that was really fucking cool. Um, saw Warhammer 40k Marine that I was like, damn.
It was Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
God, that would be cool. We saw Alien that was so fucking good, so lifelike. When we saw it, we are like, what the fuck? And then we commented to each other, if we were in the rave and the alien just popped up behind us, we would shit
Freak
ourselves
out.
in fear because that's how realistic this one looked. We were like, it's a person, right? That is a person, right? It was so cool. So many great cosplays. Obviously a shit ton of Fragran as it's gonna be
I had
it's
a
a popular
feeling.
thing.
Lots of
Yeah.
Freerin stuff.
The whole party as well. A good amount of Ferns and Starks as well. I saw a
What,
lot of
no,
groups doing that cosplay, which was
no
really cool.
Hemo? Hemo doesn't
No,
exist?
I didn't see any Himmels, unfortunately.
Listen, it's Freerin. It's out of sight, out of mind.
That was like 20 episodes ago, bro. You gotta let it go.
um, there was a lot of Mau Maus. I really
Yeah,
fucking love that.
I didn't realize how popular Apothecary Diaries was. Like,
Yeah,
apparently it's not just us that loved it, because apparently the rest of the world loved it too.
I'm
very
very
popular.
happy about that. Honestly, I'm just
I'm
like,
like halfway through being caught up with that anime, by the way. It's fucking amazing.
yeah,
Right?
buddy, you have to catch up. It gets even better.
Almost there.
Yeah, no.
I broke
And
down and
the
started reading
panels
the
I went
manga for
to,
that too.
yeah, the panels I went to were really good, so I really enjoyed those. Couple of like one of them was where to read stuff legally, and I'm just like, okay, this sounds kind of interesting, even though this is kind of a question you can just Google.
Doesn't
But the panel was actually really in depth, and I actually really enjoyed it.
I know Shonen Jump has an
Has the
app.
subscriber app,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like you pay, was it $5 a month or whatever it is, but you
It
get
was
to
like
read
$2.99 per month, and you can read
100 chapters a day of
yeah,
anything you want that they publish,
yeah,
which is like
which is
that's
insane. That's an insanely good deal.
That's like
well, I mean,
25 minutes of John's time.
yeah, like 100 chapters. That's not that much manga. That's rookie numbers, bro. Rookie numbers.
Don't they have a have
John,
a
you
plan
don't
that
stop
lets
to
you do
appreciate
unlimited,
the
though?
art.
Don't
Oh,
they have a
that's-
Shinoda, don't they have a plan that lets you read unlimited though?
I'm sure they do. I don't remember, but I'm sure they do. They have to.
yeah, I don't
Um,
know either, but
no, but like this panel actually went into the various different types of services that are offered where you can buy manga straight up from, and like the price differences of how they do things. It was actually really interesting. So I still love the fact that I can find cool and interesting panels like that even after going to years of cons. Um, the partying at night was probably the best part. Lots of DJs just wandering around. The rave
From what I
obviously
understand, that's the
eventually.
reason you go to Katsucon. It's not for the actual convention; it's for the parties.
It really is. The cosplays and the parties. Like that's like some of the best stuff. Um Obviously sharing various amounts of alcohol with random people. No, no,
That's
buddy.
drugs, man. That's drugs. They
Oh
slipped you
no,
in the.
no, there were drugs. There were drugs. I had people doing cocaine in one of the room parties I was at over
Very
there. I
nice.
was like, hell yeah. You go for it, guys. Some people doing E and I was like, yeah, yeah, I'll
Yeah,
do
typical
that.
party stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool as shit.
To be honest with you, there's some anime out there I'd love to like just experience while like super high on like coke or ecstasy.
Oh my god.
I don't
Like,
think
could you
you'd want
imagine
one.
watching?
No,
Could you imagine like
all
doing
right, Alex. Let me tell you
what?
something. You're not going to enjoy any anime while you're on coke.
Probably not. No.
You're not going to be able to focus enough on coke to be watching anime. You're going to be thinking about those 50 things that you didn't get to do yet that you need to go do right now.
That's true. But no.
Just letting you know.
But could you imagine if you were on Molly and you watched the OP to Magical Destroyers?
Bro,
That'd be some
crazy.
shit, man.
Nah, bro. Let's get you on Molly, have you sit down and watch Paprika.
Oh god.
Bro, your skin would be fucking melting.
Or
Jesus
even better,
Christ.
just do like a tab of acid.
I haven't
start
been to
watching
a con
Paprika.
since 2007 before I left from California to Texas. Doesn't Texas have Anime Matsuri? Isn't that their biggest
Yeah.
convention?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, it's a
Anime
huge
Matsuri
one.
in Texas.
Isn't that like
Houston,
the
I
third
believe.
biggest anime convention or something, or fifth biggest anime convention in the U.S.?
I can
It's
look it
one
up.
of those.
I know, obviously, Anime Expo is probably the biggest.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the rest are in comparison.
Well, either way, so went there, lots of fun, lots of great cosplays, bought a bunch of shit, which I absolutely did not need, but I love. Actually, let me go get some of the posters that I got
Oh boy, he's got
just to show off.
show and tell.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to look it up and see what the biggest one is.
It's Anime Expo. It has to be.
But yeah, I wanted a list of like the top 5 or top 10 biggest one.
Like by attendee numbers.
Yeah, by
I'm
attendee numbers, yes.
So I'm pretty sure Anime Expo has like
100,000 plus.
100,000 plus. Yeah, like they always have so many. There's two reasons I don't go to cons. It's because it's a little expensive, and I don't feel like driving there while dealing with traffic. Yeah, that's true. I think it's over in Houston, Anime Matsuri, because we talked about going to Anime Matsuri together as kind of a like, all right, well, I'm from West Coast, these fools are from East Coast, and so we could converge in the center, go to Tejas, and so that way I can go get my fix of brisket. Fuck, man, Texas brisket though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is in Houston.
Texas just for brisket.
It is in Houston.
All right.
Oh, hey, Jacob, what's up?
First poster.
Hey,
Is that
nice.
free run?
Yep.
It is.
Oh, that's cool.
Let's see.
We're not doing an unpacking video.
No, we're not.
You live 20 miles away from Houston. Thanks for doxing yourself, fool.
I'm broke now. Just pay your bills?
Uh-oh.
Did you buy a bunch of freaking Apex loot boxes, bro? Did you do the collection event? Did you do it without me?
Helsing, of course. Loved it. I saw this and I was like, oh, hell yeah.
So is this from like Artist Alley? I'm assuming.
Artist Alley and Dealers Hall. I went
Really?
to both
Dealers? There were dealers that selling this.
Oh yeah, no, there's dealers that
Official
sell
licensed dealers?
really good stuff. Yeah. Bochi.
Bochi.
Let's see. And
Yes.
this,
Of course, Bone Daddy.
yeah,
That's not
and it's
Bone.
holographic too. I'm like,
That's
oh hell
not
yeah.
Bone Daddy. How dare you?
It's not
The other
Dare you
Bone, the
insult
other Bone Daddy.
Iams.
There are multiple Bone Daddies, my friend.
Now, I'm not
Oh.
the biggest fan of it, but I saw this poster. I'm like, yo, this looks sick as shit. So had to get it.
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
So I just saw a short from Joey, the anime man, where he talks to a different AniTuber. It's like, "What's your hottest take on anime?" And he's like, "Jujutsu Kaisen is like bad." And then Joey's like, "Finally, someone gets it." I'm like, bro. I remember when Joey was like, "Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen's okay." Like, I just called it okay. Now he's doubled down. He's like, "Nah, it's actually just bad now."
Shin
It's
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Gojira.
And
Godzilla.
this final poster, I know you guys are gonna love. This actually cost a hefty amount.
I can't
Oh
even
my
tell what it
lord, what is
is.
that?
It
So
is. Come on, you guys can tell.
I still can't. Oh, is that Ghost or Ghost in the Shell?
That is Ghost in the Shell, buddy.
it's
Is
so
it funny that I
reflective.
recognize the Tachikoma before I recognize the Major?
Well, I was trying
Really?
to recognize who the hell that person is. I don't know who that is. The guy on the top, the bad guy. It's
Oh, that's fuck. What's her name?
None of us can remember COD World.
see?
That is that's the first body the Adam was in,
Nah,
Was that the character's name? Adam.
if I remember right. Yeah, I think it is Adam.
Hmm.
But yeah.
To answer your question, soon paid bills. Also got a new phone.
Bill's new phone, a few Apex packs,
A
first
few
volumes,
Apex
Apex
packs in quotation marks.
volume, Oshinko. bro, bro, what
31
are you
cents.
doing?
Jesus Christ.
And those are just the posters. I'm not even pulling out the shirts and the stickers and other stuff.
Well, I'm
But
glad you
yeah,
had fun.
Yeah.
I'm very antisocial. I don't like going to conventions ever at all.
I
Like
get it.
I go to them, I experience them, and I'm like, there's things that I like and there's things that I hate. Overall, it's kind of just like an annoying like experience in my opinion.
I mean,
I
hey, it's not for everybody.
Oh, and probably the favorite sticker I got. Freyren with the
Nice.
gun.
I think that going to conventions, I like going to conventions because I like exclusive merch. That's what I
Mm.
like.
Oh, that's true.
I'll go there for like
He's a
exclusive launch.
consumer.
Yeah, like that's what I really care about when I go to any type of convention. Like, what type of exclusive merch can I get here for certain things?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I hate everything else. Like, I don't want to talk to other people about anime because I have a podcast for that where I can share my terrible hot takes and people can't do anything about it because you know what? If you cared that much, go make your own podcast. So
I do plan on framing like a good amount of these classy, especially the big one.
Big.
also the anime of Akashic Records only covers up to volume 7.
So I
Is it
actually had to get 8. Okay.
Is it a 12 episode anime or is it a 24 episode anime? Because if they covered 7 volumes in 12 episodes, that might be god awful.
That sounds extremely rushed.
Yeah.
Well, I dropped the show after like 3 episodes because like yeah, it's kind of whatever. I don't really care about it.
All right. Well, is that all you had to say about Katsucon?
Yeah, I believe
We
so.
talk about Niji Sanji.
Yes, can we? Yes, I will 100% talk about Niji Sanji because this is a dumpster fire that keeps on giving.
So
Is there
I
new
think it's
news about it?
hilarious. It is hilarious that we did our was it our VTuber episode?
We
Like
did an episode recently. We've recorded it. We haven't put it out yet.
So
Where John and I rank we put out like our top 9 VTubers.
there was an episode that me and you were talking about the whole Niji Sanji
Last
thing out.
WTF we talked about what happened with Rushia slash
Oh, okay. Yeah.
but
So then literally
Echo.
later that day after that episode, Selen got terminated. I was like, yo!
And that set off a
Just talk about
shitstorm.
this.
That set off a whole ass shitstorm. Oh my god. You want to talk do you want to talk about what happened like there to how we got to where we are now?
I'm not up to date on the whole drama about what happened, but like, so I remember saying like, Selen, I was like, I remember saying Niji Sanji En would be idiots for letting Sellen go because she's like one of their top performers right now.
Yeah.
And then she got terminated later that day, and I'm like, well, like, all right, I guess they are stupid and whatnot. But so I remember she got let go, and then she started talking about like a bunch of the stuff behind the scenes. Like the writing was on the walls the entire time about Niji Sanji as a about any color in general.
And for
Like
those who
with
don't know, Any Color is the parent company that owns Nijisanji.
yeah. Um I like that you wrote a sinking yacht because there's a meme about yachts and the owner of any color.
Yeah. I think it's funny. You could not have two more diametrically opposed companies than Any Color and Cover. They are run completely differently, it seems like.
I know that with any color, so people were their talents that they were hemorrhaging because they have a high like turnover rate for their talents over at any color.
Which should be a
Because
red flag in and of itself.
well, it's like that's not a red flag. That's it's not much of a red flag because it's like if you look at any color's business practice of like, is this selling? No, it's not turning a profit. It's not doing a profitable month right now. Just close it down. Don't waste any more time on it.
Mhm.
Like they don't grow projects. They don't like let something breathe and try to grow it by itself. Like compare it to something like cover, which is like, spend three what's
Shinoda.
his color choice? What?
That was Shinoda that wrote that. I will not claim responsibility for
I
that.
don't understand what that means, Shinoda. But
Japanese are racist.
Because it's and also because it's a black company. Ha 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 ha.
anyway, Shinoda's racism aside,
Oh, hold on. The Japanese are well documented to be extreme racists. Fuck off.
so Shinoda's biases and racism aside, yeah, it's any color is run completely opposite of cover, where the cover was like, okay, we need to make sure this works. Like, we're gonna let these talents breathe, and we're gonna do whatever we can. Nowadays, they'll do whatever they can to help grow their talents. It wasn't like that in the beginning, but any color is just like, yeah, no, if it's throw shit at the wall, if it doesn't stick, get rid of it, cut it loose. So they were losing a lot of talent because of that. They closed branches and they treated their talents basically like, yeah, you weren't turning a profit, so you're kind of just whatever to us. So
Mhm.
again, these previous talents that this happened to did come out and talk about it, but it was more so like people were like, well, that's just the nature of the business. You weren't making money, you weren't profitable, so no one really batted an eye towards this type of behavior. It's like, oh, they expanded and then they closed down the shops that weren't performing well. If in a business aspect, and it's like, okay, well, that's how any color runs their business. It's kind of just how it is, and it's unfortunate, but that's just how they've grown their company to be worth $2 billion. Apparently,
Yeah.
that's how much the company's worth. I have no idea how much it's actually worth.
Dollars or yen?
That's what I asked. I didn't look into this any further because I could not care any more about this stupid company. But so selling gets terminated, and then everyone like things go nuclear with the whole selling drama
Overnight.
overnight. Like she didn't know that she literally found out from their tweet that she was terminated. They didn't even tell her first. And her mods were like so upset that they're like, go subscribe to Doki Bird, Doki Bird forever, which is like this is her past life. She's now reincarnated as her past life. And
Mhm.
apparently her manager is a manager who managed XQC at one point in time.
That
And
makes
I was
sense.
like, yo, what?
Makes sense.
So apparently she's being treated really well by the Americans right now, which is a good thing.
Yeah. I thought that it was funny that even the other talents were not even like being some of them, well, at least were not even being coy about it. They were going on Twitter and under their own accounts, like liking
Well,
memes and stuff that were anti Niji Sanji.
Wow.
so there were also a bunch of so any color calls their talents livers for
Mhm.
whatever reason. Because I think it's for 2D live or something. I think that's what they originated as. I think that's why
Which is
they
spelled
have
exactly the same way as livers.
yeah, I know, live. So I know that there were a bunch of corpo tubers who so one thing that happens with any color is all of your social media
Mhm.
for your VTubing personality and whatnot are owned by the company. You don't get anything. Like, you don't get the subscriber plaques, you don't get to keep anything, you don't have access any rights to any of the social medias. They can revoke it at any time and lock you out. So it's like whoever's posting on that Twitter account might not be the talent that you like. It might actually just be corpos
Or
posting
might
on
be
it
intern
pretending
number
to like.
32.
Yeah, it might be. You never know. So they made a bunch of their livers do like statements and post stuff where it's just like literally reading off a teleprompter, like, we do not condone Sellen's actions, like, this is it's sad that what happened and this and that, like, this, we will not stand for this type of behavior between a hostile worker and making these crazy accusations such as harassment and bullying. And then
Yeah.
they proceed to like shoot themselves further in the foot.
I don't know who it was that did it, but someone leaked like an internal memo from Any Color that they were talking about the termination of Sellen, and they used the phrase we expect negligible impact from her termination. Oof.
Yeah, someone leaked an email from the owner of the company to their shareholders
Yeah.
explaining the situation
And then
because,
when that email leaked, then like a bunch of people who like are sponsors of Any Color or Niji Sanji, or specifically sponsors of Niji Sanji talent, are like, yeah, we're not working with them anymore.
Oh
If you have
wow.
stuff, if you have like pre-orders and stuff for things that we got coming in the pike, we'll either give it back to you or we'll send it as a donation to the person that you really wanted it to go to.
Holy shit, that's bad. I didn't realize it reached the corporate levels.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, because it's just terrible. Because like because it didn't start with selling. It's been
An
A
again
ongoing
slowly building
shitstorm.
snowball.
a slowly building snowball, but a lot of people have come out because I don't remember which. I don't watch Niji Sanji talents like ever at all. I didn't know about I knew that Niji Sanji was
A thing.
a thing, a company, but I didn't know any of the talents ever. Like, I never watched Sellen. I still don't watch Sellen, but I just know about it because it's like it's all over the feed for the VTubing stuff, and it's like, oh, you like VTubing, right? Here's all this drama covering it. I'm like, yo, because even Charlie talked about the Niji Sanji situation, bro. If Charlie, Mister Everyday Man himself, freaking comments on the situation, you know it's fucked. Like, what the actual shit's going on?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's a sinking yacht. It 100% is. I just don't see a way they actually recover or save face from this. I really don't.
I mean, I honestly don't know. I understand wanting to get your bag. However, for the rest of the Niji talents, like, you see how this company is treating them, right? You
Yeah,
see
oh,
how
yeah.
this company is treating all the people that they deem not worthy anymore. And you have to really sit there and think about, like, what happens when you're next. Do you really
Yeah.
want to be supporting a company and making them this much money?
Oh, like everyone and their mother is making escape plans now.
I just think that it's funny that like as all this is like popping off, and of course all their dirty laundry is getting aired very publicly, as a matter of fact. Um like they're constantly going after Selen, aka Doki Bird, who that's what she streams as now. Um and they're like constantly just lobbing more and more shit at her, and she's like, at this point I think this is both libel and defamation. Lawyer up, motherfuckers, I'm coming for you.
I think they lowered it up
Wow.
first.
I don't know, it's crazy what's going on.
Yeah, and apparently, like, they were leaking confidential information
Oh,
Oh, that's
that's
a
the
huge
stuff.
crazy
no-no.
thing. That's the crazy thing. So, Selen herself, aka Doki Bird, I got to pick one to call her, I guess. She's a Canadian citizen, and Canada, much like the United States, has a law very similar to what we have here called HIPAA, which basically means that your private medical information is yours. Your employer can't
No.
your employer can't release it publicly. And what Niji Sanji did is, whether they did it on purpose or an accident, I don't know. But they were telling the other talents Celine's medical information,
What? Oh.
which, if that is true,
So she talked about
that is a breach of Canadian law.
so as far as I understand it, and I might be wrong because again, I'm not. I've only known about all this drama because all the drama tubing that's been happening, like all this drama, like just happening. Like Charlie talked about it and Omni talked about it. But as far as I know, what happened was so Selin was it was getting so bad for her when she was still selling Doki Bird that she made an attempt on her life.
Hmm.
And while she was in the hospital and all this stuff, that's all documented. And that's when, like, because she got suspended and stuff because of the whole I think it was all over a music video. She did a cover of a Lily Pichu song.
Yeah, and she
And I have
like paid for it out of her own pocket.
Yeah, and then she got permission from Lily Pichu and her team, and they're like, "Yeah, go ahead, it's fine." But then Niji was like, "Yo, don't release that because it hasn't gone through the proper channels yet." So then she released it anyway, and then they took it down, and she was like, "What the heck?" And then she was urging her fans to, like, if they have copies of it, like, re-upload it and share it because she put in a lot of work and effort and money into it. Like, I think 15 grand or whatever it was.
This is a
Holy
large
shit.
amount of money.
Yeah, she put in her own money for it, by the way. And yeah, the Niji basically suspended her for that over over Christmas, I think it was, or something
On
over the
Christmas Day,
winter.
I think, is when she found out.
And then, she makes an attempt on her life, and they took that information, that her medical information that she took an attempt on her life, and they told it to the other livers about like the medical reason why she was gone and all these things, like, oh, she's unstable, she's crazy, she's this, she's that. And it's like, bro,
Which is a
you
breach
are
of Canadian and
that is
American law.
you cannot go and do that. That is private medical information. Like, it's one thing if she wants to share why she was hospitalized to, any of your other talents because they're friends or whatnot. It's another if you are the employer and you're telling them this, like, oh, the reason why she was gone was because of this. And
Mhm.
obviously, because she did this, she's crazy. So, we're right. She's wrong. And it's like, no, that is so illegal, bro.
And it's also what Soon put here in the chat is true. It's worth noting that the Canadian version of this law specifies that foreign companies are still required to follow regulations, so Niji can't even hide behind being a Japanese company.
Yeah, like, it's freaking nuts.
Yeah. They're
So
screwed. If this
that
goes to court, they're screwed.
to me, that's like the latest information about it. Like, I remember Doki Bird posted was like she on Twitter, she was saying the reason why she was hospitalized and this was private information, and they shared it. And she's lawyered up. It's like I just want this to fucking end. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to drag this out in public, but like, I have to defend myself.
Yeah.
And that's the last that I know of what has happened with the whole Doki Bird
It's
situation,
going to be a wild lawsuit, John.
bro.
I
Yeah,
wonder if any other like past talents are gonna like pile on here too, and like just to show in court how bad of a company this is.
Yeah, because I remember there was a past talent that basically after she got let go, she went onto Tumblr or something. She posted basically about like all the black practices about the company.
Mm-hmm.
She was basically just confirming the writing on the wall, and that's when a lot of Niji stands were just like finally like going, "Oh, maybe this company is bad." But it wasn't enough to convince everyone until the whole selling thing, and now everyone's like convinced, like, "Oh, it's an evil company." It's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
crazy.
crazy that the writing on the wall was correct.
Not Doki related, but a Niji liver started getting racist against white people. Don't know all the details around that. Oh, that's yeah, big yikes.
I mean, so Nietzsche has a bunch of talent. So it's like a bunch of talent worldwide. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know the livers. They just have there's too many.
I just remember we were talking with some people in our Discord server. It was about like 2 years ago about how, with so many people in Hololive now, there's a statistical probability that at least one of them is racist. And immediately someone just says, it's Ame. Ame's the racist.
An EN talent. Yeah, again, I'm not a fan of Niji, so I don't know any of their talents. So I couldn't give you a guess as to who it is.
Apparently, I don't know if this is true because a lot of stuff is now just flowing out about some of these people. Apparently, there's also a member of, allegedly, there's a member of Niji Sanji who is, someone has receipts of them grooming someone,
Oh hell!
which is not good.
What?
I don't remember who it was that this person allegedly said that they had this information about, but if it's true, that's also big yikes.
Bro, there's just so much wrong with this company. What the hell?
I know. Just when you think it can't get any worse, you just peel another layer back. Oh my god, it's rotten. There are termites everywhere.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's very unfortunate.
Anyway,
But
that's all.
great entertainment for us.
Yeah, oh,
Oh
fucking
yeah, no,
for
no,
someone sitting on the
people are eating
sidelines,
up
it's
the
great
drama, man.
entertainment.
Holy crap!
I'm just sitting there with a popcorn feedback, like, come on, keep going. Anyway, that's all I got for that.
The writing team for this season of Earth really seems to have stepped up their game.
I mean, yeah, there's been some good shit happening this season already.
Yeah. Anyway, shoot, what do I want to talk about?
I don't know. You wrote a bunch of stuff down.
All right. Are there any food items that you were banned from eating as a kid? Like you just straight up were like not just like soda and coffee as a kid, but like just straight up foods that your parents were just like, no, you can't have that.
Alcohol.
Nope.
Like, not the obvious ones, Alex. No,
Oh
nothing.
no. I was allowed to have whatever hell I wanted.
I'm trying to think. Not like a specific like meat or vegetable or anything like that. No. I was kind of limited. They tried to limit me on like the amount of like sugar I would eat, but they wouldn't
Okay.
ban me from ever eating sugar.
All right. So my mom was told growing up that we couldn't eat duck.
Duck.
So in the same vein of this, my grandma told me that we couldn't eat beef because cows are our friends. Because my grandma believed that. I thought it was part of a religious thing. Apparently, it's just like my grandma thing. She just said we can't eat beef because cows are friends. And
Cows
I was
are
just like,
lovely
oh, that's
friends.
kind of weird. I didn't know that until I got older. But so
Cows are tasty friends.
Cows
my
are very
mom
tasty friends.
and so that was my paternal grandmother that didn't eat beef, and subsequently we never ate beef growing up in her house. But my maternal grandmother, my mom's mom, she forbade my mom and her siblings from eating duck. Because my mom, to her knowledge, it was because it was against our religion, our culture, that we couldn't eat duck, right? So my
Mhm.
mom grew up thinking, oh, yeah, we just can't eat it because we're not supposed to, we're not allowed to. And she never questioned it. Her and her siblings, my uncles and aunts and stuff. And it was only recently after she came to America and stuff and finally had duck that she find out the reason they didn't have duck when they were back in the motherland was because duck was expensive, and there's a lot of family, and there's a lot of kids in my mom's family. I have a lot of aunts and uncles on my mom's side, and it's like feeding 10 mouths, and they all get the hankering for duck. Like my grandma said, not today, Satan." So she just outright lied to the kids and said, "Oh yeah, we can't eat it because of religion, but it was because we were just poor." And didn't want the kids to eat duck because duck tastes so good.
I don't have duck very often, but it's all right to me. I like it. I only like it in certain ways.
See, I don't
Same.
like
I don't really love duck. I think it's okay.
I don't like duck at all. Like I don't like duck fat. I don't like duck meat. I don't think duck is good.
Duck breast is
Uh,
all right.
Duck smells wonderful when you cook it. I
Mhm.
Oh,
think duck
absolutely.
smells amazing.
You get
Then
that
I
nice
eat it and I'm like,
smell out of
oh,
the Asian
I
restaurants that
wish
make it.
I wish this duck tasted as good as it smelled, bro. Like I don't understand why people like duck that much because it doesn't taste any better than chicken. Like it's a little bit greasier and a little bit fattier, but the flavor profile itself isn't like there's no umami flavors to it. But I also understand that I'm a weird guy because I also don't like turkey. I think turkey is kind of gross. Like turkey breast is okay, but like turkey on Thanksgiving, again, maybe it's because I'm not a full American because I'm first generation American for my family. I was born here, but growing up, we didn't have turkey on Thanksgiving. We had hot pot and shit. So maybe it's because I didn't grow up eating turkey that I feel like this way. But I don't know. I know I'm weird about poultry, about my birds.
Fried chicken is the best thing ever. What are you talking about?
No, you can fry anything and it's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. I'm just like this is the funniest fucking thing to me.
I can't think
being
of
lied to
anything.
about like, oh no, we can't have it for religious purposes, and no one questioning it whatsoever. Because again, where I come from, we have a lot of weird religious, like cultural religious like practices,
Mhm.
very very strange, off the wall stuff. But we just do it. It's like that's tradition. We just do it. So you can just make shit up and get people not to do stuff.
I, for the life of me, cannot think of anything similar I have experienced in my life like that.
I don't know. Maybe it's a me thing with my hoodoo voodoo tribe stuff. Like who knows? Hey man, my mountain dwelling villagers, where you at?
Question for y'all: what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten since we're talking food? I've eaten rattlesnake before.
I don't think that's weird. See, you can't ask an Asian that because there's a lot of food that I eat that I'm like, that's not weird. That's just normal.
Yeah, really.
Bee larva, normal. Grubs, normal. Fruit bat, normal. Jellyfish, normal.
John's the kind of person see Ozzy Osbourne biting the head off a bat and be like, "See, he
Yeah,
understands."
I get that. Escargot.
I
I've
don't
had
like
it in
escargot.
France,
Yeah, I
and
think
they
escargot
did
is
it
whatever.
wonderfully.
I mean, when you eat escargot, it's basically like eating a chewier version of like mussel. I'd rather just eat mussels.
Soon, are you asking an Asian person if he's ever eaten a dog?
Is that no,
Wow.
bro? That's hella racist.
Wow. Jesus.
I think is
Wrong
that a
type of
dog
Asian,
emoji? I
bro.
can't tell.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure that's
I'm
dog.
pretty sure
That is
that's the dog emoji.
that's like, yeah,
For a
99%.
second,
no,
I
I
thought it
have
was a camel because I know people eat camel meat.
All right,
I
Sloon's a
have
racist.
I have never eaten dog or cat, at least to my knowledge. I don't know. When you go to Asia, this leads me to my next thing about like, man, Asian night markets, right? Like, let me.
Before, since we're on cats and dogs, can I just say one time? This is a racist thing that I had an experience with, and it's my own racism. So bear with me.
Oh,
I went
no.
to a Chinese takeout place near me when I was a kid, and there was a cat going behind the back alley where the restaurant was, and I said, "That's a brave cat. That's a really brave cat." That's like seeing a
Dog.
that's like seeing a chicken in a restaurant in a parking lot of a KFC. That is a brave chicken.
Yeah, no, I've never had cat or dog, um, at least to my knowledge. But
I really
what's
hope not.
my buddy, my Taiwanese buddy, his dad knew someone who ate dog, and he was like, I've never eaten dog, and I never want to eat dog, but I will say, the motherfuckers who eat dog, man, they grow up hella big and strong and tall, bro. And I'm like, yo,
What the fuck?
hey, yo, like
I've been
he's
to
like,
a
yeah,
lot of Asian countries, and I really hope I haven't eaten one of those. I know we've had snake before,
yeah,
but
snake is normal. I
yeah,
feel like that's normal. It's just eel, but like not.
but I
Like,
really hope we haven't had cat or dog.
Is bison considered a weird thing to eat? Because bison's pretty decent.
I
Nah,
think,
bro.
well,
Bro, we
no, I
have
don't think
a
bison's.
place that sells bison food like 5 minutes away from me. It's great.
Bison. I
Jacob
love
has now realized he thinks he did a racism.
Welcome to the club.
No, but so this brings me to my next point about Asian night markets hit different. All right. So if you've never had the luxury or the fortunate stuff to go to an Asian night market or to travel around the world and try night markets in general, like they hit way different. So
They're so
up here in
much better.
America, I've gone to the night market up in Canada. There's one I think it's in Richmond. And it's pretty awesome. But like the ones that I went to when I was in Asia, way better, bro. Like night market culture is something that I wish was adopted here in America. I really wish it was. Like I get why the logistically it wouldn't make sense and stuff like that, but basically there are generations of family who set up stalls, food stalls, vendor stalls for whatever they want to hawk, and they just sell it out of these like a vendor stall, like think food truck, like think the American food truck style, right? Where there's food trucks lined up in everywhere, but it's every night thing. And it's something that you and your buddies, you get off of work, you want to go around, have a beer, sit on shitty plastic stools and eat fucking food that's been in a stall that's been perfected over 50 generations or 50 years of cooking. Like, bet. Like, what do you want? You want some skewers? You want some noodles? You want some fucking beer? You want to go buy some jewelry? Like, whatever. And it's just like, it's a nice time to just go and it's a chill, nice thing to do and just like be active and just be socializing. I love night markets so much.
Says the antisocial person.
Well, because the night market itself, isn't
Nah,
annoying
bro,
to go
night
to.
markets hit different.
Bro,
This is a
it's
whole
different
different thing.
because I'm there to enjoy the good food, the good vibes. Because everyone is there is doing the same thing. We're here to enjoy the good food, the good
Oh,
vibes. We're all here to chill.
listen, half of my experience, or half of my enjoyment rather, of restaurants anymore is just the vibe, like the atmosphere.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Alex, I think you would really like night markets.
I
if I ever
probably
take you
would.
to, if I ever take you, Alex, to Southeast Asia, you got to experience night markets, bro. It's just way better.
I mean,
Like,
there's some stuff I might not eat, but I would just sit and enjoy the vibe, have a beer, have whatever
bro,
local
I just eat
alcohol is
whatever
being,
looks good, man. That's the
yeah,
best part. Like,
have whatever
because it's
alcohol is
really just
being
about
brewed
you and
behind the
your
scenes.
friends just walking around and just like whatever you feel like doing right now. You
Yeah.
want to go get this, you want to go get that. Like you see, like in anime terms, you see how they have like matsuris, right? Like Natsu matsuris, the summer
Yeah,
festivals.
Yeah,
yeah, the
It's
street
that. That's the night
festivals.
it's
market.
literally that. It's quite
It's that,
literally that.
but every night.
Like they have the things in anime where it's like in front of the temples, they'll shut it down for like a matsuri, and they have a bunch of street vendors.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
that.
no, it's literally that.
It's that. It's literally just that, but every night.
Yeah.
It's awesome, bro.
It's not the same, but Mexican. Listen, let me tell you something. Some of the best food I've ever had in my life is from Mexican street vendors.
That's what I'm saying. Like I love that night market street vendor culture. I wish it was more like available in public in America. I really wish it was. And I like, for example, for my people, we did this over the summer. We did a summer festival for our
Mhm.
culture in our state, and it was basically our version of a night market, but it was during the day. And I was like, dude, I fucking love this. I love how many stalls that are serving like food from my country, food from my culture. I just love that I can go here and get what I want to eat. I'm like, oh man, it's home cooking all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's
man, this shit
something
fucking slaps.
there's something similar that happens. So and it's not 100%, it's like not all the time, it's not every night, but in Pittsburgh there is a thing called the Market Square in downtown Pittsburgh, and during like the Christmas time they actually set that whole place up as almost like a night market, like what you're talking about, except it's not just food vendors. They have a lot of food vendors, but they also have like stalls where people have set up that they're selling like homemade like tchotchkes and stuff,
What is a tchotchke?
like little knickknacks.
Oh, all right.
But it's all handmade.
Okay.
And
I gotta
it's a
use the
lot of it
bathroom.
is
I'll be right
a lot
back.
of a lot of it is like Scandinavian slash Bavarian, because that's where a lot of the people that immigrated into America from those regions settled in, like Pennsylvania area.
Oh, that makes sense.
But it's kind of like what you're talking about, except it's just not like Asian, it's more European.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one thing I miss a lot from Asia is this type of like culture around night markets. Because
Yes.
it's a fun time, man.
Listen,
Good
listen,
food.
listen, soon. I just want to tell you, sometimes you don't want to know what you're eating if it tastes good. Just don't ask questions. If it
See, I
tastes
don't
good,
really
don't ask
care
questions.
what it is as long as it tastes good. Because I'm not sure if I'm an adventurous eater, but I will say I will try things like that
Mm.
are weird. Because again, you never know if it's gonna be good or not.
Have you ever eaten cactus?
No, no, I've
Shit's
never had
pretty
the
good.
opportunity. Is it?
Shit is pretty damn good,
I know that
especially if you
people
fry
grill
it up.
cactus and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I had that when I went to Arizona one time. It's pretty damn good. Cow
Cow tongue
tongue.
is amazing, bro. Oh my lord.
My grandfather used to like genuinely eat sweetbreads and he loved it. For
So
those who don't know, sweetbread is a calf's brain.
is that what? What? Really?
I don't
Is
know
that what
why
that?
they're called
Why is
sweetbreads,
it
but
called
they're actually
sweetbread?
the brain of a cow.
Cow tongue. Finally, bro. So there's this Japanese yakiniku, a Japanese barbecue place, in one of the cities that is near me that
Mhm.
serves like cow tongue, and it's so good, bro. Oh my god, they have like they flavor it perfectly, and they get like little green onions and shit with it, and you grill it for like freaking 30 seconds each side, and you just dip it in the sauce, bro. Oh man, that restaurant is so expensive. Japanese barbecue is very expensive, but that place is freaking delicious, man.
Can we? So this is kind of on the same level as what we're talking about. You have listed here about hole in the wall restaurants, because I have something to say about that.
Oh, I was gonna wait for Chinoda to come back because I know he likes to go eating too. He's
But
using the bathroom right now.
oh, I'll have to go after him too.
Oh my lord. Y'all
uh,
got bitch baby bladders.
listen, I have had a lot of coffee today. But no, can we talk about hole in the wall restaurants really quick?
I want to talk about it, but I want Chinoda here because I know he's got an opinion about this too.
Fine, fuck it. I'm gonna talk about Olive Garden because we're on the topic of restaurants.
Oh my god. Don't tell my
Listen,
wife.
Shinoda went to the bathroom. We'll be back. Um, but no, Olive Garden. I went to Olive Garden for the first time recently. It's been like I want to say 7, 8, 9, 10 years or so since the last time I was at Olive Garden.
All right, I got a side tangent real fast about Olive Garden.
Okay.
So growing up, there were restaurants that I thought were fancy,
Hmm.
because we never got to go out to eat at restaurants and stuff a lot. So in my mind, I thought Olive Garden was a fancy restaurant, like a suit and tie type of restaurant, because we always had to dress nice when we went to Olive Garden. As it turns out, Olive Garden is just it's a chain of restaurants.
Yes.
But growing up, I thought it was a fancy restaurant.
I mean, fair. I guess if you don't go out very often, any place you go out to is kind of fancy.
I seriously thought it was like peak fancy Italian restaurant. I really did as a kid.
I'm not here to comment on Olive Garden's authenticity with its Italian food. I'm here to comment on the fact that their unlimited soup salad and breadsticks is not only a good deal, it's goddamn tasty.
Olive Garden, the perfect place to break up with someone.
Wow.
You can't break up with them. When you're here, you're family, bro.
Exactly. No,
Olive Garden is good. I go there at least 3 times per year. See, I go to Olive Garden, like, I want to say at least once every month because my
really,
wife loves Olive Garden. She loves, especially the unlimited soup, salad, and
I
breadsticks. She loves
fucking
getting that.
love that shit. Do you
And
know
you
why?
are right. Like at Olive Garden for soup, salad, and breadsticks, it's like $12 or $13
It is
here in
eleven
Washington.
ninety nine.
Yeah, it's like $12, and you can just have unlimited soup, salad, and breakfast. You can eat, you can get full and eat like super salty but decent food.
Yeah, but you know what? For the amount of food that you can eat for that price, at the quality that it is, granted, it's not the best food in the world, but damn, is it pretty good,
No, no,
especially
no,
their
no, no.
soups.
I will fight people. I want to drink a gallon of. Actually, you know what I used to do? You can get catering from Olive Garden. You
Yes,
can
you
order
can.
to go catering from them, right? So I
Mhm.
ordered a whole ass gallon of their Zuppa Toscana soup.
Oh, that shit's good.
The potato and bacon soup. I
That shit's
ordered
good.
that just so I could have it at home because they don't. I don't understand why Olive Garden does not sell their soup at stores in frozen
They
sections.
sell their salad dressing now, though, at
I
stores.
did see that, but I don't care about the salad dressing. I want the
I
freaking.
actually,
I want the
I
soup.
like their salad dressing. I like the salads that they give you at Olive Garden.
They're whatever. But yeah, it's like you will not get a better value out of any American restaurant other than Olive Garden for like unlimited food and stuff.
And it's not just that, like, that's a great deal for $12, you're getting as much soup, salad, and breadsticks as you can eat, plus whatever the cost of your drink is. If you get water, then that's literally your whole price. That's the whole cost of your meal. But like most of the stuff on their menu, I won't say everything, but a lot of the stuff on their menu, they give you a significant amount of food for a pretty decent price.
I think that the actual Olive Garden food itself is trash. I try. The reason I say that is because me and my buddy, we used to go to this Mexican spot, and then it closed down, and we were so sad because it was a really good Mexican restaurant, but rent was too high there, so they had to move
Mm,
because not a lot of people in this area. It was a primarily like white neighborhood,
mhm,
and they don't really like eating authentic Mexican food there. Like they'd rather go to Jack in the Box for tacos than go to an actual Mexican restaurant. Very unfortunate
mhm,
for the Mexican restaurant. So they closed down. And we were pretty sad, upset about that. But a new restaurant popped up and it was an Italian restaurant. And we are like, yeah, let's go there. Right. And this
mhm.
place was fucking expensive Italian. But it's an actual Italian, like no shit Italian restaurant. It was so fucking good, bro. Oh my lord. I was like, this is what Italian food tastes like? Like in real no shit fucking Sicilian made this? You telling me? And I was like, holy crap. Like
Oh,
Olive
are we
Garden ain't
talking
shit, man.
about my topic?
No,
Well,
we're
no,
talking
we
about Olive
started talking
Garden.
about Olive Garden
Oh, okay, okay.
and how I adore their soup, salad, and breadstick thing.
No, so I went to a real Italian restaurant and it was expensive, like $30 for a plate of pasta, but it was so fucking good, bro.
I do not
I've
mind
gone back.
I do not mind paying for quality when I go out to eat. Like,
Yeah,
if
so
it's
it's like if
really good food.
if I'm gonna go eat actual pasta, like I want some actual Italian dishes, I will go to this place instead.
Mhm.
However, Olive Garden, you can't fuck with that $12 unlimited bread, soup, and salad.
You can't I fuck with it, man, because, like, that shit is good and it's a good value.
Yeah, like you can't knock it, bro. And like I said, my wife loves it. She gets it all the time. Every time, like, do you want to go to Olive Garden? She's like, yes, I'm gonna get soup, salad, and breadsticks. Like,
They have a
and,
they have a
and
new
then
soup.
they even let you bring soup and salad home.
They do.
If you
Really?
want to get it, bring the soup and salad home. You're like, hey, can I get another one to go with this one that I have right now? Every single except one server one time who was like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, well, what an asshole. That's why you're not getting a tip. Like, and I still tipped him like 5% though, because fuck you, bro. I remembered that. Every other server was cool with it, bro. But let me get my double soups on. You know what I'm saying? We
No,
broke out here, man.
they have a new soup now. It's chicken gnocchi. Boy, was that shit good. Oh,
I sorry to say, Alex, that's not new. That's been there for a while.
well, granted, I haven't been to Olive
New to
Garden in
Alex.
10 years,
New to
but
Alex, yeah. No, the
it's new to me.
like I said, I go like at least once a month, if not twice a month, because my wife loves going there, and
Okay,
I'm like, it's a
Classy
cheap
Listen,
option
English
too, because
lamb
like,
you're
breakfast.
right.
bro, $12, bro, $12 for a meal? That's insane prices. That's
Okay,
cheap.
Classy Ulysses is right. You can get a better deal at Denny's, but that's just for breakfast.
Yeah, but that's like shitty pancakes and like 2 pieces of bacon. Is that all right?
Well, the
2
Super Slam has
eggs.
got like I think 2 eggs, 2 pieces of bacon, 2 pieces of sausage, pancake,
No. Is 2 pancakes, side of hash, 2 eggs,
eggs,
and
sausage,
either
or
2
bacon.
sausage or 2 bacon. Yeah. Yeah, a typical
That
American
still
meal. Yeah,
sounds pretty
that's a
good.
pretty good deal. Yeah. However, I also think that Denny's is fucking gross. I
Listen. If
can't
I
believe I
want
used to go to
breakfast food,
Denny's so often, honestly.
if I want breakfast food, I'm going to Waffle House, man.
See, I don't have that option. I got to go if I wanted breakfast, either the 2 chains that are around me are Denny's and Sherry's are closing, but I do have a couple of like cafes and stuff that are near me that I order from that have pretty decent food.
But we were talking about it while Chinoda was gone, and he is right. Restaurants are damn expensive to eat at now, man.
Yeah, I just don't see a point in any fast food place. There's just no point in going
Yeah,
to them
no, I
anymore.
I got a fucking small fry and a small drink at McDonald's, and it was like, yeah, your total's gonna be $5. I'm like, $5 fucking dollars? Small soda and a small fry? You fucking crazy, bro. What? Like, it's
I was
$3.50 for a small fry.
I was rewatching Pulp Fiction recently, and they had that scene where Uma Thurman's character orders the $5 milkshake, and John Travolta's character is like, "You telling me this milkshake is $5?"
Most
I'm
milkshakes are
thinking
like
today that's a good
$7 now.
deal.
That's a great deal
Right?
today.
Jack in the Box taco slap, bro, get out of here. You are a fake Mexican, Jacob. Get out of here.
Wow,
I am revoking your Mexican card.
his
I'm taking that
Mexican
shit back.
pass.
No, and
And also,
everything's
Classy
goddamn expensive
Ulysses,
now.
you're fucking lying. Waffle House, and my God, the place is disgusting. He'd rather go to Denny's than Waffle House.
Listen, you don't listen. I
Wow.
want
No
to listen.
shot.
I want to be very clear with you. You do not go to Waffle House expecting it to be clean. You don't expect the servers to be friendly, but you do expect the food to be damn good.
And you can definitely feel protected in there.
And bro,
You know
let me
that
tell you
if
something.
anyone starts shit, the staff will fight too, bro.
If you start shit, they will beat the fuck out of you.
Bro, I want to go to a Waffle House to experience it. I want
It's
to.
funny to
Wait,
me.
have you
I-
not?
of all the
No,
places I took Natai while he was here to eat, and I even took him to my own parents' house to eat home cooked Southern food. He still says the best meal he had while he was here was at Waffle House.
Natasha's got the spirit of an American.
I'm not talking about the entire month he was here in the United States. I'm not talking about just the time he was here in Florida. I'm talking about the entire month he was here in the U.S. and all the food he had. He still says the best food he had was at Waffle House.
Jacob, 2 for $1. Bro, no, the freaking the Jack in the Box tacos are like $2 now. They're $1 each now. You lying, bro?
Oh, that's a
Cap.
big yikes. That's a
Yeah.
big yikes.
I'll be right back.
All right.
Alex is gonna go pee. But yeah, no, it's crazy how expensive restaurants have gotten. Because I'll go out and I'm like, bro, why am I? There are certain restaurants that I hate
Yeah.
going to because my wife loves teppanyaki, right? Hibachi grill.
Absolutely.
I absolutely fucking hate those restaurants.
Really? Why?
Listen, they're serving you maybe $15 to $20 worth of food value, right?
Uh-huh.
In serving size and like the quality of food. Maybe if I'm being nice, right? It's probably more like $10. So why the fuck does it cost me 50 or like $75 to go eat here? 50 to 75. That's crazy shit. So we recently went for we go once a year because I tell her I hate teppanyaki with a passion. There is no teppanyaki I have been to yet where I'm like, this price was worth it. Because 70% of your price at going to teppanyaki is linked to the show. And don't get me wrong, I think that the chefs at these restaurants are very skilled. They have
Yeah,
spent a
they
long
have to
time
be.
honing these skills. And you go to teppanyaki because you're supposed to enjoy the show. That's why people actually like to go. That is fine. That is fine to me. If you go
Great
to
for little
teppanyaki,
kids.
it's great. It's like I said, the food isn't terrible. It's pretty decent where
But
we
it's
go.
not worth the price. You're there. You
But
pay
it's
the price
definitely
for the
no, you're
show.
paying I'm paying $50 for a show. And it's like I'd rather go watch an actual movie. I'd rather go. There are other shows that I would rather do than
Go to
teppanyaki.
medieval times.
Honestly, yeah, though. For real.
Bro, move inland. We can afford shit. Ain't my fault. Seattle expensive. Bro, you know what? Actually, though, Seattle fucking expensive, man. You can't get a good meal for like less than $15.
Washington State is fucking expensive.
Yeah, that's just how it is. I mean, Western Washington is. Eastern
I
Washington's a little bit cheaper in terms of like housing and stuff. But
I get it though with Shinoda where he says that like the fast food stuff, it's not the value it used to be.
bro,
It's not.
you
I don't
you
even
used to
eat
be,
fast food. I haven't
no, you
really
right. No,
eaten
no, no,
fast
no.
food
No,
like
you
that in
right.
a long
So I
time.
went
But
to
still.
I went to McDonald's breakfast the other day because I hadn't
Remember
had
when that used to be the
McDonald's.
shit?
That shit used to be so cheap. There used to be like you get $5, you get like fucking 4 things for $5. Now I went there and I got 2 meals for me and my wife. It was like $24. I was like, what? $24 at McDonald's in the morning? For what? A fucking 50-cent hash brown that you could just go to Trader Joe's and buy? Like, what is this crap, dude? It's crazy.
No, it's insane, is what it is.
McDonald's only worth it if you got a
a
deal on the app.
Bro, I don't order from the app. What the heck? That's how
People
they get your
do.
information.
Oh,
Charles,
God.
you work in that field, man. Well, you know this. They farming you, bro.
It's okay. They get the information either way, so you might as well.
Yeah, but like it's insane to me that McDonald's used to be a place where it used to be cheap, right? McDonald's used to be cheap fast food. Now it ain't. Tell me why I spend less money going to Wendy's for breakfast and like lunch items than I do McDonald's. How
Yeah,
is
that's
Wendy's
actually
cheaper
crazy.
than McDonald's? Isn't that nuts?
Also, Jacob, like, yeah, you can afford a bit more over in the Midlands, but you got to remember, seafood is not fresh over there. It's all really bad. I would not give that up. Like, give me my microplastics.
Nice. Oh man.
No,
The
but it's not
customers
just
complain about
McDonald's that's
McDonald's
like
food and the higher ups
expensive,
are
like
listening,
fast
but
food.
yeah, you're right.
There's just a bunch of restaurants that are just expensive because I get it.
Even the
You go,
normal restaurants, that's what
yeah,
really gets me.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
holy
Like,
shit, I can't
there's
afford
teriyaki
this.
joints that I used to order from that used to be like $12 for a combo teriyaki. Now it's like 18, $17. And I'm like, what? When did inflation infect us? Like, do this to everyone? Like, it's $5 more expensive for everything nowadays. It's crazy.
Or
It's
more.
funny.
It's
It's
the same
funny.
thing. Like the same thing for groceries though. Everything's fucking expensive, bro. Grocery shopping now. I used to pay like $100 for groceries for like a week or two of food and drinks and stuff. Now I only get that if I search for coupons and deals and shit. It's crazy.
And the
Like,
coupons aren't even as good as they used to be.
No, food used to just be this cheap. Now it's not anymore.
Like, I'll go into a grocery shop to get lunch because I forgot to bring it in or didn't feel like making something the day before. And, I'll pay like $6, $10, whatever for like something good, a full meal. Now it's like 15, $20. I'm like, what the hell? I can't do this every day anymore. Like, it's just not economically viable.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy. Like
crazy.
pizzas, bro. Pizza used to be like you could order 2 large pizzas for like less than $30. Now one pizza's $30. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It really is gonna take a while to fix it.
Pandemic affected economy, bro. It's not the pandemic, man. You tell me why
Things were cheaper during the
experiencing-
pandemic.
We're experiencing record high profits from these companies because of them charging more, and people are still buying it because people.
Yeah,
are
And it's
still
not
buying
even-
it.
go
it's
look
not
at their
even that-
quarterly reports.
It's not even that they're charging more; it's that they're charging more for less product too.
Yeah,
because
they're
like
downsizing.
shrinkflation is
Yeah,
yeah,
real.
shrinkflation's the
shrinkflation
whole
is
thing, too.
so real. Oh
Because
my
you're paying
God.
the same price that you used to pay for like forgive the American measurements here, but for like a 20-ounce jar of like peanut butter, you're paying the same price for that, but it's like a 14 and
For
a half ounce jar
yeah,
of peanut butter. It's
yeah, bro, shit's fucked. But anyway, I nowadays I started getting more into cooking because now I'm just like, bro, I can't justify paying going out to eat at these mid-ass restaurants for these prices.
Yeah, it's
I'd
really
rather
unfortunate.
like take my lazy ass and go cook.
Like, I love being lazy and like just getting something from a restaurant. Like, I'm a pretty good cook in a lot of people's opinion, but man, much rather be lazy and just get it from a restaurant. Now, I can't justify it anymore. It
yeah.
sucks. It really does. Anyways, that's my rant on that.
You know, we a lot. I just realized this. A lot of the stuff we actually listed to talk about involves food.
You know what place is really good though?
What?
Look, you notice you ever go out and you eat at a hole in the wall restaurant? It's like
Yes.
the dirtiest fucking place. It's got like a B minus in health rating, and that place fucking just slaps. It's
Slaps
Yes.
like
like
the
a
best
motherfucker.
fucking place. Do you know why that place tastes so good?
I don't know exactly why, but I remember several years ago watching someone on YouTube, and I cannot for the life of me remember who it was, but they used to go to these what they called ghetto restaurants. They weren't necessarily in bad neighborhoods, but he
Right.
had what he called the ghetto meter or the ghettofication meter of restaurant quality.
That
And
sounds like so
and
racist.
it was his the measurement was generally the more like ghetto or hobbled together a restaurant looks, typically the better the food.
Hey, I
So
mean that's real though. That's real.
That was his theory at least. And he did
so
like a bunch of videos testing the shit out at different restaurants.
hole in the wall restaurants taste so good because of the struggle. All right. Like real no shit. I bring this up because I talked about this dumpling place before. But there's this or a the Cantan wonton noodle house in downtown Seattle in International
We're
District.
not sponsored, I promise.
We're not, but my buddy introduced us to this place, and this place tastes so damn good. But he's got a baby crib in the corner. He's got his kid over there
Holy
working
shit.
on the laptop on their schoolwork. Like, bro, struggling to survive down up in these streets. Okay, and that food is fucking fire. Because if it wasn't, he couldn't afford this shit. He couldn't afford to fucking have a place in Seattle and open a restaurant like this because of the
Man,
struggle. Like that's real no shit.
late night in DC for Otakon, I go into a Chinese restaurant just to grab dinner because I was hungry as fuck. Some kid is working the counter, absolutely not allowed, way too young. I'm like, okay, sure, why
If you
not?
go into a
Bro, let
Chinese
me
takeout place and you see a 5-year-old kid answering phones and taking people's orders, that shit's gonna be fire.
listen, let me tell you.
And
So
oh my god, the food there fucking slapped. I was like, yo, this is so good.
so my mom used to work in a bunch of restaurants, right? And we couldn't afford babysitters or nothing like that. So my mom would take me and my older sister with her to these restaurants. And my
Nice.
sister was young, but she got hella tall back in the 5th grade. So she's as tall as she was gonna ever be. I think she's like 5'5" right now. But she got to 5'5" in 5th grade. So she could pass off as like, okay, she kind of looks like a teenager who could work here, right?
Mm.
Even though she wasn't yet. So she got to be a waitress, and I used to do dishes for like Otter Pops and change, like the tip jar and stuff. Because this restaurant that my mom worked at, it doesn't exist anymore. It closed down, but because of well, my mom don't work there no more because she works in a different field. But it closed down now, so you can't. Nothing you guys can do to cancel this place.
It closed down because John's mom wasn't there to hold the place.
No, really,
Yeah, no,
probably.
like she was the sous chef, and my I called them. So in Asian culture, we call a lot of people like family friends and stuff, uncles and aunts and stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember Uncle Richie was like the head chef, and he was the brother of the restaurant owner. And it was my Uncle Dennis and Aunt Mao, I believe, are the ones who own that place. But basically, it was a Japanese and a Thai restaurant. It was a mix, right? So we had the Japanese chef, which was Uncle Richie and Aunt Mao, and then there was my mom, who is Thai. So it was a weird split restaurant of like, here's Japanese food and also here's Thai food. It wasn't fusion food. It was just a restaurant called Japan Thai that was one and had both of these dishes, type of dishes. And let me tell you that the food there was fucking amazing. I loved eating there all the time. And I'd get brought there, and we had one of those old boob tubes where you had to like an antenna and you got to swap the channels with a dial.
Got to put the aluminum foil
So
on.
well, we'd get there early in the morning on Saturday. I'm like, I'm a little kid. I'm like, man, I want to watch my Saturday morning cartoons. Got to watch some Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Like, how does Yugi beat the use the giant stone soldier to attack the moon? Like, quite literally, I remember that I watched that episode in this restaurant. So I remember I'd like go into the back because there's no dishes yet, so I can't clean no dishes. So I'd just be watching cartoons in the back corner of the restaurant on this boob tube TV. But then obviously when the restaurant opened, I couldn't be out there anymore. So I'd have to go into the back of the kitchen near the walkway. And my uncle Richie, he's the one who let me play a bunch of Game Boy games. I got to play a bunch of like Game Boy Advance games and SP games or Game Boy Advance on his SP because I didn't have one. I had a Game Boy Advance, but I didn't have an SP.
Big
But
shout
he let
out
me
to
play
Uncle
his
Richie.
bro.
Yeah.
Uncle Richie had a bunch of issues, but you know he's a he had a bunch of anger issues, and you know I hope he's found peace with his life now. But you know, thank you, Uncle Richie, for letting me play your Game Boy. I got to play because I'd be sitting there waiting for the dinner rush so I could start doing dishes. So I like what else is a kid gonna do? I can't watch my Saturday morning cartoons no more. So I'd go and play some video games, play the Game Boy, just sitting in the back next to the walk-in freezer, just playing through like Zelda and all this other stuff. But this restaurant tasted so damn good because of the struggle, man. Like, bro, these health standards, all this stuff, like, oh man, good times, man, good times. And it was, I know shit was working for Otter Pops. Like, all I cared about was like, because to me, I was like, I gotta be here anyway. I always gotta be with my parents, like my mom or my dad. I'm gonna be stuck doing whatever they want us to do. So it didn't matter to me. But here I got video games. I'm getting Otter Pops, and they're paying me tip. Like I have money because they're giving me from the tip jar money because I'm doing dishes. I'm like, bro, I did this shit for free. You're like, I thought they were getting fucking bamboozled. They're getting suckered because I was like, I do this shit for free, bro. Like, oh shit, you giving me money? You're feeding me and giving me money and letting me play video games and watch cartoons? Oh man. Who hasn't engaged in a little bit of child labor
Illegal.
exploitation?
Child, exploitative child labor.
Bro, it was a different time, all right? Like,
Very different.
it's a struggling family restaurant. Like, when you're part of an immigrant family, you understand, like, your parents come here, they try to make a better life. They got to do shit, all right?
Oh yeah.
And you got to help out your family. You got to do what you got to do. So to me, that was just normal behavior. I don't think it was abusive at all. Like, I was just helping my mom out. Like, what else
You
is my
were
mom
just
gonna
helping
do?
survive. You
My
weren't
mom's
being
fucking trying to
exploited.
survive. Like I remember back in like the 90s and stuff. She used to also before she became a chef, she used to work as a cleaning lady. And I remember she would take me with her to go clean skyscrapers in downtown Seattle. Because again, no
Oh
babysitters
wow.
or nothing. Yeah, so I'd be chilling with her, just going around helping clean offices. And like I said, I used to do that shit for free. My mom, because I'm so used to my mom takes me somewhere. I got to do whatever she needs me to do while I'm there. And I just do it because and I can't complain. This doesn't matter.
I'd take those hole in the wall places though. They may not look like much, but man, you can get some good shit. Get some
Yeah,
good
no,
shit.
like I said, it's the
There's a
struggle, bro.
there's
If
a
it tastes good, it wouldn't exist no more. Because nobody would walk into a nasty ass fucking place if the food wasn't good.
there's a place down in Key West, Florida, and as far as I know, it's still there. Uh, and it's not a restaurant per se; it's actually a bakery. They just have places inside where you can sit down and eat the stuff you buy if you want to. Um, but the place out on the outside looks like absolute shit. It looks like a tinfoil shack, is what it looks like. I mean, it looks
Wow.
like if a hurricane comes through, this place is going to be like fucking Dorothy in Kansas. It looks like shit. They have almost no signage whatsoever on the outside of the business. But it's a bakery and it's a place where you can go. They make like cookies, cakes, pies, and they have the best key lime pie I've ever had in my life. They make it down there and they make it fresh almost every day. If there's ever a time where they can't get fresh key limes, they don't make it. But it is made with actual key limes, which makes it a real key lime pie. Um, but this place, man, you wouldn't think to even go in there if you were just walking by it. You think that was just like
Yeah.
a ramshackle shack. Man, this is some good shit. And the woman, I think she's dead now, but there used to be a woman, old ass woman. She's like in her late 90s, early hundreds,
Holy
who was
shit.
the original owner of the place, still working there. Um, and she was old enough to have met and talked with Ernest Hemingway, and she used to tell people about like stories about Ernest Hemingway because he used to live in Key West. Because
Oh,
he
Oh,
used to go inside their bakery all the time apparently and get shit. I assume she's dead now because if she were still alive, she'd be like 120.
I mean, I don't like Ernest Hemingway. I think his books are kind of mid. I hated that. I hate that he's known as one of the great American authors, and I'm like, oh, really? Ernest Hemingway, him? He's a great American author. Like, wow, I guess America really isn't that cultured.
it's, I
The
would
Europeans were
argue
right.
some of the great American authors are living right now. Like some of the
Mm.
true greats. I think
Bro,
some of
I
the
can't
past
even
greats
list
are.
off anyone else other than Hemingway because all I remember was reading his books and being like, yo, his books suck.
He's got a different voice than most other writers, but I like most of his writing. But no, that's just one thing I definitely remember about. Almost every time I've been in Key West, I make sure to go by that place. It's great.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, always support, local businesses and stuff.
Absolutely. If you ever have a chance to pick a mom and pop place over a big box store or something, do it.
Yeah, seriously. It's so much fun. Especially if
Brandon
you're gonna be a
Sanderson, yeah.
repeat
There's an American writer.
customer. Holy crap. They are gonna form a relationship with you. You will get all types of deals and like all that. It's worth it. It's
Oh
very
yeah,
worth
like
it.
there's this so down in Tacoma, one of my coworkers introduced me to this barbecue place. Uh it's called Four Sons, I believe. Four Sons Barbecue.
Hmm.
And I was like, "Oh man, they got pretty decent brisket." Like I really like their brisket. So I'm never down there cuz it's very far. It's like I think Tacoma's like about an hour away from me where I am now. It's kind of a deep drive and there's a lot of traffic. And I'm like, I don't want to go down there. But whenever I do find myself in the area or if my wife's down in the area for whatever reason, uh I asked her to get me some food from there because I'm like because my coworker introduced it to me. He brought it in and shared. I was like, bro, this is some fucking delicious brisket. Like I know I need some. Like you do not get good brisket. You don't get good barbecue here in Washington. That is unfucking fortunate that we don't have good fucking barbecue here. But I get it. I got to go to the South for that. So the best place I found for brisket is this restaurant. Well, one time my wife went down there and I asked her, I was like, oh, can you get me a pound of brisket and give me a full rack of ribs? Right. And uh, so what they did was, because this is a mom and pop shop, Four Sons, they gave me the pound of brisket, but they didn't have enough ribs left over for like a full rack of ribs. So you know what they did? They just gave it to us for free.
Wow.
Damn.
Like it wasn't a full rack, but it was nearly a full rack, like maybe 3/4 of a rack, and they just gave it to us for free. And I was like, since that moment, I will. I praise them
That's
like
loyalty.
accolades, bro.
That
Accolades. Like
earned
I'm talking
loyalty.
about them right now. Like if you ever down in Tacoma, you want to go support a mom and pop shop. You want some barbecue? Go to Four Sons
You ain't gonna get that at Applebee's, that's for sure.
for sure,
Absolutely
bro.
not.
But it's just like just that type of small interaction. Like not only is the food good, but the service is really good.
Hmm.
There's this Japanese owned place that's in Rockwell, Maryland, that me and my friends go to all the time called Tamari.
Mm-hmm.
Servers recognize us by now and they're
See,
like, we know what you like, we know what you want. You
I've
don't
heard
want
this story.
salads.
I've heard this story from Shinoda multiple times, and he has yet to take me to this place.
All right, fine, bitch. This time when you come over, we're going.
Okay.
Bro, it's like when I came over and you guys don't take me to any of the famous places I want to go to, like ever. Oh, you've never been to Waffle House? Like, no, motherfucker, I've never been to Waffle House. You always talk about Waffle House, and yet here I am visiting you, motherfuckers. Never gone to Waffle House. Oh, but Natai is all of a sudden here. Let's go to Waffle House.
To be fair, you live closer to a Waffle House than the Ty does.
Yeah, I mean a little bit, not that much closer.
You could go down to Arizona. There's like 5 of them there.
I don't want to go to Arizona. I don't know why people want to live in Arizona. Arizona sucks. It's so hot.
What
Bro,
are you
who
talking about,
actively
man?
chooses to live in a desert?
I
What are you
don't
talking
understand.
about, man? It's
I
got the
honestly
Grand
think we
Canyon.
should destroy all the cities in the desert, conserve our resources, and call it a day.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me stop you right there, Chinoda. If you destroyed cities in the deserts, that means you got to destroy Las Vegas, and that means there'd be no Fallout New Vegas.
Stupid.
While
You're
you're right,
stupid, bro.
cities in deserts take so much resources to maintain, to keep together. We are running out of water. We literally are. We can't
Jacob,
afford this shit.
what's wrong with deserts? Nothing's wrong with deserts. What's wrong is living in a desert when you don't have to.
It does not make sense. It literally doesn't. We
Wasting all the
shouldn't do it.
resources to power and get all the like water down there. Yeah, it's garbage.
Like, there's farmland in Nevada. That does not make sense.
I mean,
It's
solar
a whole
farms in
topic.
Nevada make a lot of sense.
Anyway, yeah, hole in the hole in the wall restaurants, guys.
Oh,
to
yeah.
overthrowing society. Let's
Yeah, it's
great
Yeah.
tangent. Love it. Gotta
great
love it.
tangent. I mean, since we're kind of talking about food, John, do you want to talk about the last thing you have listed here? Because it's about food too.
Okay. Apparently this is a hot take. I don't think it's a hot take, but whatever. There are two food items that should never be sweet: eggs and popcorn.
I agree on one of
Disagree on
those two.
popcorn.
I disagree on popcorn too, because caramel corn is pretty damn good.
Bro,
I don't-
Oreo popcorn. Let's fucking go.
I hated that. I
I've
just
never
tried
had
that
that.
recently, like literally last week or 2 weeks ago. I hated it. Absolutely garbage. Oreo popcorn, get out of here. So, my reasoning is if it tastes like egg, it cannot be sweet. Like you can use eggs in sweet things, but
Like cake.
like cake, it's an emulsifier. It bonds and stuff. You can use it for cooking. But
Mm.
if it tastes like egg, like an egg tart, and it's sweet, I hate it. Absolutely gross. I hate that. Just make it a quiche, bro. Make a quiche.
Quiche
Put
is
some bacon
delicious.
in there. And I think popcorn should never be sweet. I think it only should be salty. I do not like sweet popcorn in any form. Like caramel corn, that should get stuck in your teeth on top of the kernels that already get stuck in your teeth. Okay. And it's just like, it's that I understand people have this like the salty sweet mix stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It does taste pretty good, but it just should
Salted
not be sweet.
caramel.
Yeah, salted caramels are fine. But I think popcorn itself, like the actual popcorn, sweet popcorn is gross.
Can
Like,
I
I had
blow your mind with
recently
something?
no, let me tell I recently had a spicy Cheetos, Hot Cheetos has popcorn, right? Hot Cheetos popcorn.
Yeah.
They have a spicy popcorn. Did you know this? I think it's cinnamon
What the
spice.
fuck?
I actually just saw that like a week and a half ago or something.
It's
What
like
the
cinnamon
fuck?
pepper or something, cinnamon ghost pepper or some crap. I recently just had that. And I was
That's
just like,
pretty good.
it's not.
I mean, Cheetos flavored popcorn sounds really good.
No, Cheetos popcorn is like the shit. It's really good. But it's cinnamon spice something, like cinnamon Cheeto popcorn or some shit. And it's gross, bro. And I'm just like, bro, I do not like sweet popcorn. I do not like sweet eggs. That is gross.
I definitely agree with you on the eggs. I will blow your mind here for just a second. All popcorn tastes sweet to me because butter tastes sweet to me.
Wait, what?
What?
Butter
What?
to me tastes like just emulsified sugar.
That's so weird,
Wait,
bro.
hold on. What type of butter do you normally have?
Irish butter? Carrot
Butter.
really good.
Irish butter is amazing, but no, just like butter, just unsalted butter that you get at the grocery store. I put that on popcorn and it tastes sweet to me.
What the
That
fuck?
is weird. What the hell?
But yeah, all popcorn
Alex
tastes
has
very
weird
sweet to me.
genetics. He has that
And it's only
mint
butter.
tastes
It's not like
soap
it's,
genetic, I
it's
swear.
not like how some people get their tastes mixed up where salty tastes sweet to them or sour tastes salty
Yeah.
or whatever. It's not that. It's literally just butter.
So
Butter
I need to
tastes sweet me.
differentiate something here for you, Classy. So a waffle, egg, sausage, and bacon sandwich is delicious, okay? But the egg can't be sweet. The egg has to be salty. You can add sweet stuff like from the waffle or from syrup to the sandwich, and I think it slaps. But if you flavor the egg with sugar, garbage.
I mean, yeah, I definitely agree on the egg thing. I don't understand why anyone would put sugar on eggs, especially if you're talking about like a fried egg.
Bro, I don't know.
I
think
would
it's-
try
I think
it
it's
out
gross.
for the sake of trying it. I don't know if I would love it.
I say this, but yet we have my grandmother, it's my dad's mother, come over for dinner all the time. And she puts sugar in everything. Salads, soup, except for stuff that you'd think that sugar would go in. She doesn't put it in tea.
So I understand using sugar for helping even out texture and taste. It helps mellow out saltiness, taste, and stuff like that. I understand using it as that, but I'm talking about like an overly sweet type of
Yeah.
thing. Like again, an egg dessert, like an egg tart.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
She no, but she like will take a salad, like a perfectly dressed salad, and just dump a ton of sugar onto it. And I'm not talking
So
about
how
like
fat is she?
Pretty weird, bro.
she's not fat at all, but she is like in her 80s, so she doesn't have a sense of taste.
Huh.
Yeah. Getting old will do that to you. You don't taste nothing no more.
It's not
But-
bad, but I prefer adding pepper to my scramble. Pepper on
Oh,
eggs is
absolutely.
fine.
No, pepper goes on eggs. Yeah.
I like putting like little hollowed out jalapenos, like slicing them up real thin and throwing those in with some scrambled eggs. Those are good.
Bro, just take a bite of jalapeno. You're being a
Like-
bitch about it.
No, I slice them up so I can like put them into things like stir fry or whatever.
No, just like take a bite of the egg, then take a bite of the jalapeno.
Jesus. Or I could just put the jalapeno on the egg.
Bro, I don't think you understand. Like, I remember when I went to Arizona to visit my grandparents, the only thing I ate while I was there was straight up beef tripe, which is cow stomach,
Yes.
sticky rice, salt, and pepper. Like, I would take
Damn.
the beef tripe, dip it in the salt, take a chili pepper, like a Thai chili pepper, and eat it with rice. And that's all I ate.
Do you
Do I
pronounce
pronounce
it
jalapeno?
jalapeno or jalapeno?
Is jalapeno.
Jalapeno.
I pronounce it jalapeno.
We love jalapeno over here at Anime Club After
Yeah,
Dark.
so I just had apparently because I ate that Oreo popcorn and I was like, this is absolutely disgusting. And my coworkers looked at me like I was crazy.
Because you
And I
are.
was like, you know what? There are two things in this world that should not be sweet. And they're like, you're crazy. You're absolutely insane. I'm like, these are not hot takes. There's no way this is a hot take.
I will say I do like putting things on popcorn besides butter. Like cheese. Cheese popcorn is delicious.
Never. I mean, I've had cheesy popcorn, like dusted cheese.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the
Like
dusted
Cheetos.
cheese.
Oh, okay.
You put it in the
'cause
bag
I
and you
was
shake
thinking
it up.
like watered, like nacho cheese. Like,
No. I'm talking about like the
was
cheese
about to be
powder. You
real
put it in the
weird.
bag.
bro,
You
you
tie
making
it off. You shake
cholesterol
it up.
bombs right now. Like, what the hell?
No.
I thought we were supposed to be going to the gym and trying to lose weight, bro. What happened?
We never even talked about that on the
Oh,
podcast.
shit. Yeah, we should start.
Bro, you haven't been doing. Oh man,
I
I
forgot.
guess
No,
it's
we
just in the
didn't.
tie then, because
But-
I haven't either.
Wow.
Unless you're watching this, Dr. McLaughlin, then I have. Yes.
Okay. We've
right.
talked about it behind
No,
the
fuck
scenes.
it, fuck
like
it. Let's
us-
make an announcement right here, right now.
Okay. go ahead.
So
No, I
for
make no statements about this.
no,
We've
we're
talked
we're
about
putting it
it,
into
but-
action right now. So we here at Anime Club After Dark are planning on getting our shit together a little bit, getting our bodies healthier. We're gonna be going to the gym, doing what we eat right, just trying to make ourselves a little bit better.
Get some gains.
And
okay.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna weigh ourselves at before
No,
each
You're,
WTF.
you're selling this very terribly. All right.
I'm not a good seller,
We
okay?
here at Anime Club After Dark are challenging you to do the One Punch Man challenge.
Oh,
That's
fuck no.
right. 10 kilometers a day, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 10-kilometer runs every day. No AC in the summer.
John, I don't think I could do that if you gave me a month.
You couldn't do it? Oh, that's unfortunate.
He couldn't do that a week.
Oh, no, I'm saying we
Actually,
could
no. If you
start
gave me a
small.
month, I definitely
No,
could do
the
it.
goal is to get to 10 to 100, 110, right? We can start off small, like with 10, 10, and 1. And then, like, every week, increment up until eventually we can do 100, 100, 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See?
That wasn't what we talked about at all.
No, but I'm
That's
saying
not
you
what we
could
talked about
because we're an
whatsoever.
anime podcast, bro. We can do we'll call it the solo leveling challenge. 200 push-ups, 200 sit-ups, 20-kilometer run every day. Let's go, baby.
I ain't doing all that. I'm just gonna get less fat. That's what I'm gonna do.
I would just do 1 hour of cardio every day. I go running at 5 a.m. I just want to get in better shape. Like, whether it's not just losing weight. I just want to get in better shape in general.
Yeah. See, John can do all that shit. He's crazy. The rest of us are just gonna get in better shape and weigh ourselves on each episode and give out the report. John can
Are
do
we?
the rest of the crazy shit. He can come back at the end of the year and just be buff as shit. I'm like, what the fuck y'all
I'll be
doing?
like Saitama, like I'll be fully bald finally, and I'm like, Wampa!
Now we talked about it behind the scenes. I don't know if we're actually gonna do it,
No, we
but
talked about we're doing it now. We're doing it now.
okay, it's out in the
Okay.
ether, I
Say
guess.
so, bro. If you say so.
We're talking it to existence. All right.
Okay.
We don't know what our weights are currently. I'm
I know what
assuming
mine is. I weighed myself this morning, motherfucker.
Oh, what are you
Dang,
then?
okay, all right. Shoot.
The 223.
All right, John.
Bro, I don't
Guess.
know. I haven't
No,
weighed
take a guess.
myself in
Take
a
a
while.
guess.
I don't know, 250?
All right. 320. I'm assuming.
God
320, 325.
dang.
Yeah, I'm fat ass.
But you gotta understand, Chinoda's also tall as fuck.
Yeah, you're what, 6'5"?
No, I'm not that tall. I'm
No,
like
he's like 6'3".
Well, to me,
6'3".
he looks like a giant, so
Yeah, I know.
It's because I am.
A short king's at 5'10". This fucking tall king at freaking 6'3".
for those
dude.
of us at
Towering
normal male
giant.
height of 5'10",
Short kings.
remember how we used to give show shit all the time for how short he was?
I don't
No.
remember how tall he was, like 5'5"?
5'4".
Oh my lord. He's a little babby.
But yeah, so that's where we're at. We're aiming to get better. Each WTF, you'll hear updated numbers.
I
Sure.
mean, sure, why not?
We're doing it.
I mean,
We're doing it.
I have started going back to the gym recently, so
Bro, he's got a head start. That's not fair.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Nah, it's not fair. He got a head start. He's
No,
cheating.
it's harder for him because he's already started going up to the gym, so he'll reach his plateau sooner. It'll be harder for him. For us, we can get better updates.
he's not wrong.
I mean, yeah, being in our 30s now. At least me and Alex. I don't know how young you are, Chinoda. You're like
Not yet.
25?
I'm not that young anymore.
Okay, I can't. I don't remember if you or Natai was the younger one. I think it's Natai,
Natai's
right?
the younger one.
Natai is the youngest.
Yeah.
He is the youngest. Is he 25?
I believe he turned 25 last year.
Okay. I was like, it's one of the two. I know
But
it's not me and Alex.
so I think
was
he-
like,
I
we're
think he
me and
just
Alex are
turned-
the old men of the podcast now. We're in our 30s.
Yeah, I'm almost 35.
Oh Lord.
Holy
know.
shit!
My mid 30s are just around the corner.
Bro, I turned 32 this year.
Uh,
Oh,
uh.
never thought I'd be 30, and yet here I am.
So, can you guys jump out of a swing still, or can you not do that anymore? I can do that still.
You know,
Dang.
Class Ulysses, I hear this all the time from everyone else. I don't need to hear it from you. All right, so we got two last things to talk about. I guess I'll talk about mine first since it's not the least bit food related. Have any of you ever felt like bad about like trying to enjoy a piece of media that everyone else really enjoys and then you just don't for whatever reason?
Bro, I
Bro,
tried to
what kind of
enjoy The
question
Walking
is
Dead.
that?
I could
What
not.
kind of question is that to ask?
No, it's a real
me,
question.
of all people.
Okay,
I
for
don't
you,
give a
John, it's
shit.
obvious. The
I
answer
don't feel
is
bad
obvious.
at all if I hate on something that people like. In fact, that's what I love doing.
No. I'm not talking about feeling bad about hating on it. I'm talking about feeling bad because you want to enjoy it but can't.
Not really. I never feel bad about wanting to enjoy something, even though I can't. Like, because to me, if I don't enjoy it, I don't enjoy it, and I don't worry about anything else outside of that. Like, is it a good series? It might be to some people. I don't think it is. You know, the reason I don't like something, even though I know it's good, like for example, Your Lie in April, right? That's me with One Piece. Well, I don't think that's a hot take at all, but I think the like with Your Lie in April, I think that it's a well-produced anime. It's got beautiful music. The story is kind of whatever in my opinion, but people seem to love Your Lie in April. They're like, "Oh, this is top 10 anime." And I'm like, "Oh, really? It's like bottom like 5 for me, but okay." But again, that's fine. people can have differing opinions, and just because it's a popular piece of media doesn't mean I have to enjoy it. I don't feel
True.
sad that I can't enjoy this because
True.
there's nothing that I would look at and be like, I wish I could enjoy this. I don't. I don't wish I would be a fucking mindless sheep like everyone else. That's alpha king shit.
Okay, Andrew Tate, settle down. Settle
Oh,
down.
God.
No, I bring this up because I've had a realization recently.
All right.
I am roughly 30-ish hours into Baldur's Gate 3, and I don't think it's for me.
I told you it wasn't for you. What?
Really?
I
you said
told
you
you
were
you wouldn't like
no, you
Baldur's
said
Gate
you
3.
were 50-50 as to whether I would like it or not.
Yeah, because I'm like, you know what? I like it a lot because I like D&D and I like all the mechanics and stuff. But I think for you, Alex, I wasn't sure if you'd like it because I'm like, I know you'd like the storytelling system side of it because it's kind of like Mass Effect where it's like you have the Paragon or the I don't know what the evil one is called.
Renegade.
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 Yeah. So I was like, okay, it has Paragon and Renegade type of stuff, but I was like, I also don't know if you're gonna like the characters because they're kind of one-dimensional characters.
They're very one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Some of them
So
are
I was
just
just
blatant
like,
stereotypes too.
so with the one-dimensional characters, because they don't really have that much depth to them because they're just kind of caricatures of D&D tropes. And along with the fact that it's a D&D based game, and I know you don't know that much about D&D and you don't really enjoy the combat mechanics of it because it's a little confusing. I was like, yeah, I'm 50-50
It's not a
on
little
whether
confusing. It's a lot confusing.
It's not that confusing, bro.
It is.
Bro, you call yourself an IT nerd? Come on.
And that's part of my
It's
issue.
just rolling dice, bro. What's hard to understand about rolling dice?
That's
You
part of
ever
my
shoot
issue
craps?
and why
You know how to shoot craps? You know how to play D&D?
No, I don't know how to play crabs.
Oh my god, bro.
I've tried to learn it. It's too damn confusing.
Wow.
How are dice games so confusing for you?
You
I
know,
don't
next
know.
thing we know, we're finding out he doesn't wear programmer socks.
Alex, you just have to hold your
Listen,
gat up for the
I
Rizzler.
fuck with those socks, man.
Anyway, so
No, so
yeah.
that's the reason I bring it up though, because like there's a lot of people who not just in my profession, which is I'm in the IT field, but like a lot of people who like what I like love D&D, and I'm like, this is just too damn confusing for me.
Well, I
It's
feel
like rocket science. It literally is.
so I
It's
have
not.
I have to boil down D&D to its base game, right? Like the core of D&D is its characters that it's like an RPG. You build your character and it's role playing. Like if you like any sort of imagining, thinking outside the box and role playing and like puzzle solving, you'd probably like D&D, but it does take a little bit of like it's a little bit of a learning curve to understand like the classes and all that stuff, but that is with any type of video game as well, RPG characters and stuff.
And see, you say that, and I like all those things you say, but I don't think D&D is any of those things.
Because it's not as straightforward as like the games that you enjoy that have these elements. But to me, it's straightforward enough for me to understand that I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. But for you, because it's not as straightforward, it's harder to get into. It creates a disconnect.
It
right?
feels like a second job is what it feels like.
Yeah, having to learn all these different rules. Because I feel that way for certain board games where like there's this new one apparently I saw people playing. My wife and her family were playing it over Christmas called Phase 10. And I'm like, this game is it's a freaking card game that's popular. I see it everywhere now. And I'm like,
sounds like a cheap like sci-fi B-movie title.
Yeah, it's a card building game where everyone gets a hand and they try to build a certain card sequence to win that round. And there's like slightly like rules to there's a little like there's things you can do, things you can't do, and things to play. And the point is, it's called Phase 10. It's very popular apparently. And I'm watching my wife's family play it. I'm like, this game is dumb. I hate this game. Because I'm like, the rules are too complicated and it's fun once you learn the rules. So it's kind of like that. It's that disconnect where when you realize like what you have to do, the amount of research and skill that is involved in actually enjoying this thing makes it not enjoyable. Because it's like, I have to do homework to relax. Like, why would anyone want to do homework to relax?
That's a great way to think about it. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel with D&D. Like, it feels like it's just too much.
Yeah, like
okay, that's understandable.
It's almost like I'm a game developer and I have to think about these things.
It's almost, and here's my hot take that no one's gonna agree with. I don't think D&D is a role playing game. I don't.
What? The fuck are you on about?
I think it's
So
a random number simulation game.
I think that I feel like that's kind of true because it's not much of a role playing game. Because the thing is, you don't have to role play to get into D&D, bro.
No,
No,
you
not at
don't.
all.
I purely enjoy D&D from the numbers perspective about like min maxing. I don't like D&D because of RP like role playing elements. Like I'll role play if I have to. Like it's fun to pretend I'm Leoxerin sometimes. Like, oh, I'm a freaking paladin. I'll go smite everything. But at the same time, I'm also like, how do I maximize my damage? what skills do we have at our disposal so I can roll the highest possible numbers?
God, we had a centaur paladin do some what's essentially coke and then use haste. And she fucking one shot a boss. It was hilarious.
Yeah, so it's like that's why I say I can see why you would say why you could see D&D as like it's not just a role play game. Like it's not role playing at all to some people because you
Yeah,
don't have
it's
to role
not.
play. I think role playing is an element that you can have to D&D.
Mhm. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm trying really hard to get into Baldur's Gate 3, and it's just
I mean, the thing is, if it's not
it's a
for you, it's not
well-produced
for you.
game. It's a well-produced game, and I imagine that for people who love D&D, I'm sure they absolutely adore this game.
Now, Alex, let me ask you this. Are you playing it solo or with someone else?
I'm playing it solo because it was recommended that I try the campaign out solo before I try and rope in anybody else.
No, fuck it. If you can't enjoy it solo, get someone else. Maybe you might have more fun with someone else.
I'd also like to point out I'm playing on the easiest difficulty setting, and I've died over 100 times in 30
This
hours.
is true. I watched them play the game. I'm like, I'm
You
watching
watched at least
it is
30 of my
interesting.
deaths.
It is interesting to watch Alex play video games because I watch Alex play games and I go, holy shit, people really are that dumb, aren't they?
John, you know about the lowest factor. Alex is the lowest
Actually,
factor.
John, if you want to design a really good game, get me to play test it.
Yeah, really.
No.
I will literally be your lowest common denominator.
Yeah, except you're not the type of people that I want to sell my game to. I'd be glad if you could enjoy my game, Alex, but I think that Larian did an awesome job curating Baldur's Gate
For
to the
D&D
D&D
fans.
for D&D fans, for the D&D experience because it's really D&D light.
And I think that's why so many people like it, because there's number one, a lot of people that like D&D, but they didn't try to develop a game that was more broadly centered.
No. But the
And I
thing
think
is,
that's
I
why
think
it
that
works so
Baldur's
well.
Gate you can definitely play and beat without knowing anything about D&D at all. And I think you could still enjoy it without being like overly invested in D&D.
Hmm.
However, I will say it is quite a learning curve to understand all of the roles and like the actions and all the rules that are involved with doing things.
Mhm.
D&D with Baldur's Gate, it's turned into D&D light because there are strict guidelines that you have to follow. There's a reason why they don't let you have higher than I think 6th level spells because 7th level spells would just break the game. And there's certain spells that they didn't include because they're like, yeah, it'd be too crazy to code a game with that type of stuff. Because D&D is a vastly wide game of random shit you can always be doing, and people
Yeah.
be doing the craziest shit.
Oh, and with DMs, I mean, you're not limited to the rules of the game as the developers of the system lay it out either. Your DM
No,
can come up with their own homebrew rules.
well, there's also the fact that what makes a good DM is a DM who caters to the party.
Yeah.
So like the reason why like Critical Role, like Matt Mercer and them and company, and also Brendan and all of them on, oh my god, what was theirs?
Fuck if I know.
Oh, I don't
There's
know.
another one. It's the people from College. Are they College Humor? Is that what they're from? I think they're from College Humor.
That's a
I
name
don't
I
actually
haven't heard in
remember.
a long time.
Oh my god, I know this. There's two big D&D podcasts.
Soon, help us out. You're in the chat.
I started watching it because my friend was watching it when I went over there for PAX over the summer, and I'm like, "Yo, this is actually kind of entertaining." And it's not because all I knew was Critical Role for D&D like podcasts, like YouTube,
Mhm.
watching a YouTube video, and I'm like, "It's awesome." But this other one was actually really good too. I wish my wife was home because she got really into it too. She's really into this other
Dungeons
D&D
and
group.
Daddies?
No, not Dungeons and Daddies.
Dungeons and
Dragon
Daddies.
Talk?
Wow, what a name.
No, not Dragon Talk. Oh my
Adventure
god.
Zone?
No.
They
Dungeon
have different
Cast?
names based on the campaign.
No, not Dungeon Cast.
I'm watching his frontal lobe just ignite in a blaze right now, trying to remember this.
I cannot remember for the life of me what this D&D
Apparently,
group
no
is
one in
called.
chat can remember either.
But the DM is really good. Like he's not. I'd say he's Dimension 20. Yes,
Dimension 20.
Dimension 20. Thank you,
Oh.
Jacob. I'm thinking of Dimension 20. I started watching Dimension 20 because my friend was watching it. I'm like, this is actually super entertaining. And watching them play D&D was so crazy too, because I'm like, oh my god, like I'm predicting like what the point of the scenario is and stuff like that. Like I watched the it was like Fairy Tale. It was like Brothers Grimm Fairy Tale based D&D campaign. And I was like, this is actually super awesome. But yeah, there's like a lot of rules and you can homebrew a lot of things, but a lot of it is your DM has to cater the experience to the group, you know? Like
Yeah.
if the group of players don't really care about role playing, they care more about like crazy funny stuff, then you got to kind of cater to that to have a good experience for the players, which is why DMing is very hard because of that. Because as a DM, you want to share your world with your group, but at the same time, your group doesn't want to do what you want them to do. They want to do what they want to
They want to
do.
break the game.
Yeah. So I remember I met a different video game creator at PAX, and he was like, "Yeah, if you want to get into game design, like DMing is sort of like game design. You'll kind of get a feel for like how players interact and stuff. So if you want to get an experience of what it's like to try to create a game for a player, just DM. It's the
No,
same
that's actually
concept.
really true.
Here is the scenario that you've created and laid out for your players. Now you have to deal with them interacting with it." and how you cater that experience to the player, regardless of what you want to lead them to, is going to teach you quite a lot about it.
Yeah. And it makes sense. I mean, you're building
Yeah.
a
I
world,
was
but
like,
you're
wow,
also
this
partially
guy was
building rules.
extremely smart, to say the least.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to enjoy it. I really do want to enjoy it. It's just, I can't. It's too gamey.
Yeah, I get
It's
that.
not enough role play, too much game.
Oh, my wife's home.
Ask her about Olive Garden.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
You missed the Olive Garden section.
Oh, I love Olive Garden.
We talked about the unlimited soup salad and breadsticks.
Oh, I love soup salad.
Honey, do you want to go to Olive Garden?
Yeah.
Too bad.
No! Spousal abuse.
Yeah, it's such abuse that I'm like, no, we're not going to Olive Garden. We've gone out too much already. We've been ordering out all week.
I guess what I'm saying though with D&D is I'd like something that's like D&D but is like 90% role play and 10% game.
With
See, you
Baldur's
just
Gate?
got to play actual
No, with just
D&D at that
D&D in
point.
general.
Nah, I mean, again, it depends on how people want to play the game. For me, I don't role play at all. I didn't get into being my character at all. I just wanted to min max and just do big numbers.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, I hate bing banging a He wanted to bang me so bad, and I'm like, no, get off of me.
Whoa,
bro.
what?
Everyone wants to bing bang Exterior, I'm like, no. It's all about Karlak, you fools.
I got to be honest with you. In the 30 hours that I played, I don't want to romance any of these characters. They're all horribly written.
Wow, that's a hot take.
That
I
is quite a hot
also
take,
intentionally got many of them killed.
Yeah, didn't we kill Lizelle in your run?
I did.
Yeah. Instantly killed
I
Lizelle.
also unintentionally killed Gale because I didn't realize he was an actual party member and I just let him die. I intentionally killed Asterion by pushing him off a cliff.
Holy shit.
And then
Alex is about to get our podcast canceled for real.
I started doing an evil run and like half my party left. Got like 2 people left in my party.
That's because someone told you to play Dark Urge, and I was like, dude, Dark Urge is not for like beginner players. Dark Urge is for people who want to do a fucking renegade run, all right?
I mean, that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to be evil.
Oh,
yeah, but
if that's what you want.
But the problem is that with playing Dark Urge is for people who know how to play D&D, because there's a lot of handicaps involved in playing Dark Urge. Which is mainly your party doesn't help you out and none of them want to do anything for you. So it's like you lose half of your party from just being Dark Urge.
I will say, in terms of like the characters too, I'm surprised that people actually like Asterion because he's a horribly written 80s stereotype of a gay man.
Why do you think so many people want to bang him?
Bro, I have so much to say about Asterion because he actually has a really good story, but all that stuff culminates. Oh, here's my wife.
Oh, it's a cat.
Yeah,
The cat.
this is Terry. She was a
Hello,
little
Terry.
monster earlier.
This
She was
is John's daughter.
Daughter.
Terry.
She's purring.
Put the
She was
cat on
trying
his
to get
head.
me to play with her earlier, and I was trying to ignore her so much.
Oh.
She kept running around me and like trying to get my attention.
She
Hi,
just wants to play with her daddy.
hi. Anyway, I have a cat now. I'm a cat dad.
Another problem, at least for me, is a good DM needs to be able to understand human experience in order to forge a good experience, and I have no human experience.
No, that's real though. No.
Jacob, no, that's real stuff. That's
As
real.
as someone who's actually DM'd before, it is a very real thing. You have to have some real stories. You have to have really lived life to be able to put out a good story. It's a fun thing to do. It's a great thing to do, especially when you get along with your players.
Mm.
But if you have no life experience, man, you are not a good DM. I've run with some DMs that are basically just basement dwellers. I'm like, yeah, you're fucking boring. Like
So
you're
like
not giving
90% of
life into
DMs.
this.
Bro.
But no,
No, but here's the thing: some of them are actually charming and smart, and they can put together something interesting.
Mm.
But a lot of people can't. A
Now,
lot
would
of
you
people
say
can't.
that a DM to be a good DM, other than like the having the human experiences, do you think being a good storyteller is part of being a good DM?
It can. It
depends
depends
on if
on
you're
how
doing like a complete
serious you want
homebrew,
to do
though.
your story.
If you borrow someone's story from another person, like you don't necessarily have to be.
So the
If
reason I bring that up is because watching Dimension 20 and watching Brendan do his like being the DM, I think he's a fantastic storyteller.
Mm.
To be able to like build the background for the world, but also like his cast and stuff. Like it's funny watching them interact and like again doing the whole role playing element to their characters. It's very interesting as well. Oh, hello.
And I think that's what I find the only truly fun aspect of D&D, at least for me, and the limited experience I have with it. Not just with Baldur's Gate, but doing our own like campaigns on stream. Um, is like the role playing aspect I enjoy. Almost everything else about it I hate, especially the dice. I hate the dice so much. D&D would be
The
so
RNG
much more
dice.
enjoyable without dice.
Oh, my cat is yelling for my wife because she went to the
Uh-oh.
bathroom.
I
we
hear
can
it.
hear her.
Yeah. Oh, I'll just
Um,
mute. Just mute.
Also, I would like to point out the karmic dice system in Baldur's Gate 3 sucks. Absolutely sucks.
So explain that. How does that work?
So the karmic dice, as I understand it, is supposed to keep it from you getting like multiple failures in a row. Like if you get like 2 or 3 failures in a row, you're supposed to automatically get a success afterwards,
Okay.
Well,
or
no.
get something
So
closer to a success.
So how the karmic dice work in the game is that you can't roll too low, or you can't roll consistently bad, and you can't roll consistently good either.
And it's
Oh,
bullshit
kind
because
of.
I've rolled
No,
5
fuck
crit
that.
failures in a row once.
I
See,
mean,
that
did you
sounds
have
hilarious.
disadvantage though? Like disadvantage is
No.
kind of okay. Bro, I can't. You know what? That happened to me once where I rolled 4 crit ones in a row as well,
Ugh.
and I was just like, bro, statistically, this is like nearly impossible to happen. But 4 crit ones in a row was just god awful.
And you know, as like interesting as that is as an experience, like to have the same thing come up multiple times in a row, like statistically, that's an interesting thing to happen. As a role playing element, that's terrible.
Yeah, one of my teachers for game design was like, "Yeah, games of chance are really shitty for video games. Like,
Yes.
it's a fun gimmick at first, but making it a random chance is just gonna piss people off more so than actually
Well,
helping people
and
enjoy the game."
especially if you're doing a role playing game, like if I were playing a character who's supposed to be like the best archer in the land, and I'm constantly missing my shots, well, that's taking me out of the role play experience entirely.
Which is
Well, I
fair. Yeah.
mean, So I know that there are some DMs who will, based on your character backstory and how much you're into the role playing element,
Mm.
will just like give you passes for things like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, obviously, you're supposed to be the best archer in the land, so you can't be rolling 2 nat ones in a row.
Yeah.
But
Like,
that's part of the whole DM experience, like understanding how to cater the D&D experience to your group. Like if everyone in
also,
your group really
another
cares about
hot
that
take.
role playing element, then they would just like let you succeed.
Another hot take. Players should never have to roll for initiative. Initiative should be a derived stat.
It kind of is.
You have to
Mm,
roll for it.
Well, it's also based on dexterity. More
Yeah.
dexterous characters have higher initiative. You also can take feats that give you +5 to initiative.
Yeah. There are ways you
So,
can modify it. There are definitely ways you can
yeah,
modify it, but I think it should be a completely derived stat. It should be an average of your strength and
so there's
dexterity.
also classes that have initiative built into them though.
Yeah.
Like there again, it's like the thing about your complaint about initiative doesn't really make sense to me because it's like this game is based on classes and skills and stuff, and there are ways to get around it, is what I'm saying. There are things you can do so you can have good initiative. If
But
that's
if you
such a
don't
big
know
problem,
that and the game doesn't tell you that, how are you supposed to know?
I mean, that's why
I mean,
you
that's the whole
learn to
thing. You're
play the game.
supposed to,
You
yeah,
have
you're
to.
supposed to
You're
learn.
complaining about playing a game that you don't know. You don't want to learn the rules to, bro.
I'm complaining that it doesn't tell you the rules.
Bro, that's like complaining. I don't know how to. This thing didn't work for me because you didn't want to read the instructions on how it works. Like, I hate people who do that.
Like, I'm sure it
I don't
says
know.
that somewhere in there. It has
Well,
to.
no,
It might.
inherently learning about the thing is for a game like D&D, you have to take it slow and you have to read. You have to study. And I understand that, if you want to play a video game, especially a
Mm.
video game like an RPG video game, I don't want to learn that much. I want to just go in and have fun,
Yeah.
right? I don't want to read the freaking 500-page book about rules and initiative and classes. I don't want to read a freaking 3-paragraph dissertation on each skill description so I know what it does. Some people do like that. I personally love doing that.
Yeah.
However, I understand from a game perspective, that's kind of crappy.
Hmm. I don't know. I want to like it. I just can't. I
And
guess I guess what I'm
that's
saying is I
unfortunate.
want an RPG experience where it doesn't rely on dice rolls to determine success or failure.
Listen, all I can say is it makes sense that you would like Mass Effect but not like Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
You take that from take that as what you will. What I mean by that, maybe as an insult, maybe not, who knows. But I'm saying, you know what, Alex, knowing
Mm.
you, your personality, knowing you for the last 7-8 years,
Mm.
that tracks. I feel like, you know what? That's why I was 50-50 on Baldur's Gate for you, because I was like, you know what? I don't know if you're gonna like the characters, and I don't know if you're gonna like the mechanics.
Mm. I definitely don't like most of the characters. That's for sure. The story is ass. The music surprisingly is ass too.
Whoa, I hard
I don't know
disagree on
about
that.
that,
I don't
No.
buddy.
know. I granted, I've only played 30 hours. I'm still in Act 1, so maybe
That's
the
because
music
you're
gets
only
better.
listening to one song. One
Yeah,
song the
yeah.
entire time.
And I've heard it. I've heard it over and over again. It doesn't get any better.
Yeah, buddy, there's different things. There's different songs. You're
Uh,
at one specific part.
from what I've heard, it's not great.
I mean, yeah, like this is quite a hot take, Alex. Not a lot of people hate on Baldur's Gate.
I've noticed.
There's
Alex
a
is
little
burning
reason
here.
it won Game of the Year.
I mean, it won Game of the Year because I guess a lot of people like D&D.
I'd
Nah,
argue
buddy,
that.
it's not just because of that.
I mean, again, the contrarian that I am, I'm like, okay, it's fine to hate on something that's popular, right? It's good. It's good to have differing opinions. And like I
Mm.
said, it makes sense of why you don't like the game, Alex. It makes
Mhm.
sense to me
At least I've given it a
because,
fair shake. I think 30
yeah,
hours is more than
No,
enough to
30's
try out
fine.
a game.
like I disagree with your points on like the music, for example, but I
Mm.
can understand why you wouldn't like the game based purely on the mechanics and the rest, right? The
Yeah.
story and all the writing and stuff. I can understand that. Because I also think the writing in Baldur's Gate is kind of whatever, but it does get better in the later parts of Act 2
And you
and
said
3.
you agree that the characters are kind of one-dimensional.
They are pretty one-dimensional, yeah. They're caricatures, they're tropes,
I'm
D&D
surprised. I
tropes.
didn't know this until Soon told me, but I guess the characters are not gender locked for romance, which is surprising.
Yeah, you can do
I
whatever you
think
want.
that's a good thing.
I think it's a terrible thing for role playing. I think it's an awful thing for role playing. Like, I think that characters, NPCs in particular, if you're going to have a romance mechanic, should be locked in certain ways like that. Like, if you're too evil, or if you're too nice, or if you're, one gender or another, makes it more realistic.
So there are certain NPCs that won't like you if you're evil, because they
Mm.
do have there's an approval system inside of the game.
Yeah.
So there are certain characters who are like basically Paragon, where like they only like you if you do Paragon things, and there are certain characters that only like you if you do Renegade things. So there is kind of that. But yeah, basically everyone be bisexual and eat hot chip and lie in the game.
Everyone be bisexual, go do crime. I don't know. I'm glad that there's a lot of people that like Baldur's Gate 3. Obviously, I can tell that the people behind it at least enjoyed what they were doing. I just wish I could enjoy it like everyone else does.
I
I
think that
would
the
say
people
try
who
out co-op, Alex. Maybe that'll.
I don't think that's going to change his opinion.
I
I
need
think
Maybe
someone to
not, but
carry
at
me.
least he could try it.
I think Alex's problem with the game is at its core parts.
It's core mechanics.
Its core mechanics is his issue. I
It's
don't think
D&D.
yeah, it's the fact that it's D&D. But I will say, my closing arguments or closing thoughts on Baldur's Gate, because no one talks about Baldur's Gate anymore, I guess, even though they just had a new patch like a couple days ago. But I think everyone who fell for Asterion are all one-dimensional basic bitches because because
I'm genuinely shocked that Larian didn't get canceled over how Asterion is portrayed. What is going on
You know
your
what?
desk?
Yeah, your
Oh, I'm
RGB
having
setup's
fun.
going crazy. So the thing is, Asterion is actually a really good character. I actually really like how his arc resolves, like his storyline and stuff, his quest line, his NPC quest line, his companion quest line is what they're called. Companion quest. I
Mm.
actually really like him as a character because of the ending that. I didn't like him until I finished the game in Act 3 and I finished his companion quest. I hated him actually, and I begrudgingly had him in my party because I needed someone who could lockpick.
Because gay vampire sells. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Listen, he's so much more than a gay vampire. Like, I hate that people liked him for face value because he's so much better than that. That's what upsets me. People were just like, "Oh, gay vampire, he's so sassy." And I'm like, "Ugh." Like my wife, oh my god, dude. But that tracks for her, much like you, Alex, or rather, I should say, very unlike you, Alex. She loves one-dimensional characters. She likes very specific one-dimensional characters.
No wonder she loves Oron High School Host Club so much.
That's why she loves Oron High School Host Club. You're right. Y'all basic bitches.
Absolutely.
You guys are disgusting. But I think that Asterion has a really cool companion quest line because how it resolves and everything, like everything that it stems from him, it makes sense. And I think that there's a lot of smart character writing inside of the game. It's just very unfortunate that all of it is locked behind Act 3 because you don't resolve nearly any of these. You resolve basically one person's thing by Act 2, and that's Shadowheart. So it's kind of shitty that everyone else's problems and character arcs and stuff don't resolve until Act 3. Like, you don't even get to touch them until Act 3, which sucks. Which is like you get to the last third of the game to really see it. It's crazy, right?
It is. Like, especially because Act 1 is the longest part, and then 2 shorter, and then 3 is the shortest. So you just
Yeah. Like all the good bits are locked behind the last 30 hours that you're going to be playing in the game. So for people who are new to it or don't really like the game at the very beginning, like all I can say is, it does get better, but I understand if you don't want to play 70 hours to 100 hours to get there, because that is a tall ask.
That's a lot of commitment you're
To
asking
be
for.
fair,
It is.
John,
It's
only
an extreme
Shadowheart's the only one
amount.
that matters. Yeah, like
Another companion I killed unceremoniously because she was a bitch.
But her arc gets resolved in or rather you get to see more of her backstory in Act 2 and stuff. Like her major backstory stuff is in Act 2. So you get to see hers a lot earlier than you get to see everyone else's. Like 50 hours in versus like 70, 90 hours in. So yeah, I don't blame people for not liking the game for that reason. Like to me, those are legitimate complaints.
Mm.
But, unlike you, I enjoyed the actual core mechanics, so I could actually sludge my way through the beginning act 1. Like, in fact, I spent 60 hours in act 1 because I wanted to do everything. Because I was like, this game is super fun. I like this game. Let me go explore. Wow, this game is pretty cool.
Yeah, the campaign is like 100-hour long plus
Oh, you
campaign.
can easily put 100 hours without even going past Act 1.
I think
Easily.
my first playthrough was about 98, 100 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
I was able to speed run it and, like rather speed run it. My fastest playthrough was, like, 60 hours.
I really hope that game developers don't look at this and take the wrong idea. It's like a long game is a good game. Like, no, that's not what you should take from this.
No, it's about how much Larian actually cared about the game is
And
what
catering to the people
really
that like the game.
yeah, and continue to cater to the people who like the game. However, just because you do that doesn't make your game a success either, though. Like, that's
True.
another thing that people need to understand. Just because you put in a lot of love and effort into a game won't automatically make your game good. It won't make it sell well. Like, people are fickle, all right? People will be on one thing and off the next instantly. Like, are people even talking about Power World anymore? Like, are people done with that? I think people are done with Power World now, right?
I mean, I still see
Suffice to
people
say,
playing it.
I mean, the spice of the week is Helldivers 2.
Helldivers has come out. Everyone's talking about Helldivers. It looks fun, actually. I kind of want to play.
I want to play it too. I
Because
bought it.
again,
I'm
you're like,
gonna play
I'm
it.
doing my part.
For
Come on.
democracy.
It's
I
literally why
love
I have
democracy.
literally why I have this.
So it looks fun. I kind of want to play it. But yeah, like, it's flavor of the week. That's the thing with games in general. It's just people the popularity waxes and wanes. People will like stuff and then fall off of it, and that's fine. It's a natural cycle. Basically, I mean, it's like every 1 month is how long I would say a game is popular for, like the initial boom.
More or
And if
less.
it's really popular, it'll go on for at least 3 months. Like, it's really like Baldur's Gate.
And if it's
3.
an actual masterpiece, it'll be years.
Well, people will still refer to it for years to come. But my point is, most of your player base, like 90% of it, is going to come from that first 3 months,
Yes.
right? People are going to play it, and unless you do a major update, people aren't really going to go back to your game for your. And so, because like if you look at Steam sales and stuff, you can track that stuff. It's a very cyclical nature, but I think it's fine, and I think game developers need to develop games that one you like. Like, I want to develop a game, or rather, I should say, I'm developing a game I like. I want the core mechanics and core experience of the game to be something I like, that I hope other people will like. And I would cater my game to people, like, to the when eventually I start beta testing and having people try it out and stuff. I want to get their feedback to see, like, what can I do to make this more fun for you? Because my point is, I want this to be just a fun game.
Mhm.
I don't care that it's going to be like 60 hours long, 10 hours long. It does not matter to me. One of my favorite games in the world is Dead Space. That game does not take more than 10 hours to beat.
We did both Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2 in 10 and a half hours or less.
Oh wow.
Exactly. And I have replayed that game for over like 60 hours, and I call it's one of my favorite games in the world. I love
Yeah.
Dead Space 1 and 2. I don't like I've only played 3 once, so I whatever. But
You can say the
point
same
is,
thing about like the original Halo trilogy. Those games aren't long.
I haven't actually timed myself trying to do a lasso run for those, so I have no idea. But my point is,
Why would you try to
it's
do a
not
last
about the length of the experience. It's about how much people
the
just
quality,
enjoy it.
the quality of the experience.
Yeah, it's quality. I understand that people are like, oh, you're paying $70, $80 for this video game. It's only like 20 hours long. Like Prey, for example, when that came out, people were complaining about Prey because, like, oh, the campaign for Prey is only like 20 hours at longest. You can beat it in like 5 minutes or
Or
something.
Halo 3 ODST. That game, you can finish that in less than 10 hours.
Yeah. But it's like, and it's like, I get it, buying this game at retail for like $60, like Prey, and it's only a 20-hour game. I remember one of the biggest problems with Prey when it came out was that people are like, yeah, it's a fun game, but it only takes 20 hours to beat. And yeah, sure, you can replay it, but you don't get there's no new game plus or anything like that. So you can replay it, but there's not much replayability because of that. You can explore other routes, but it doesn't really change the end game of the story. And I'm like, so I was like, okay, I was a little cautious going into playing Prey, and then I played Prey, and I'm like, this game is awesome. I fucking love it. and I've replayed it multiple times for multiple reasons to try different endings, try different builds,
I
to
plan to
check
play that on
things.
stream at some point too.
Yeah, I
Okay.
really liked Prey. But I don't care that it was a $60 game and it only had 20 hours of play value. The 20 hours was fucking awesome. If I enjoy every single minute of my 20 hours playing your game, I would much rather play that game. Like one game that I like the Persona series. I like JRPGs. I like RPGs. Did not like the fact that my first playthrough of Persona 5 took 100 hours. I felt like about 50 to 60 hours of that time that I did playing through the game
Hmm.
was kind of worthless grinding. It really wasn't worth it, in my opinion. But
Truly, at the
that's
end of the
kind of
day, it's the quality of
that's
the
kind of
time.
just that's another discussion about JRPGs in general, how they do time padding things. But to me, Persona 5 is a fun game. It's beautifully animated. It's got great art. It's got great music. Shout out to Shoji Meguro. The stories, whatever. Like, I think all the Persona stories are kind of whatever, but they're fun. They're fun games. But did I enjoy every single minute I was playing Persona 5? Absolutely not. Not as much as I did for Persona 3, and not nearly as much as I did for Persona 4 Golden.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
literally
You
every
play Persona
Persona has
5 for
great.
the waifus.
Yeah, but that's my point. Like, if you're developing a game, like people should look at it as, in terms of for game development, they should look at it as, is every minute that they're playing this fun? That should be the main goal. If it's
What's
fun,
the
it's great.
what's the loop or the quote? I think it's from Jason Jones, the head of Bungie. It says that for every 5 minutes of gameplay, there should be at least 30 seconds of genuine fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should cater every experience to be every minute should be fun, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
I'm
that
probably
just
butchering
comes
that
from,
quote,
probably.
but
but
that's a very vague term as well, because fun is subjective. People have fun doing different things. Then, and I know as a game developer, you have a story you want to tell, you have an experience you want to give people,
Mhm.
so you have to cater to that on top of having to think about, like, okay, how do I get them to do this thing? But that's up to you being creative. Like, that's one thing I like about game design, is how creative I have to become to get people to do things how I want them to do without them noticing I'm doing it. Like,
without them
it's
you hand
awesome.
holding them.
Well, I don't want to handhold you and stuff like that, but at the same time, like, I want you to experience what I want you to experience. There's, like, as a content creator, there are things I want people to understand from what I'm saying, but they can take it however they want, and I have to be okay with that, and I
Mhm.
am okay with that. And it's, if I don't get it conveyed properly, then I shouldn't blame the people who consumed the content and got the wrong idea. I go, well, that was that's unfortunate that you didn't understand what I was going for. I got to do better as a creator myself. That's how
How do
I
you
feel about our content.
how do you put them on the train to enjoy the sights without having them notice they're on a train?
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like I heard someone say that once besides Shinoda.
No, that's a really good analogy.
Yeah.
You
I
want them
literally
to
just
be,
came up
you
with
want
it.
to,
I don't know if
no,
someone
you're
actually
right,
said it.
because you want to put them on rails, but you don't want them to notice that they're on rails.
Yeah. It's like what is it? Space Mountain at Disney World. You want people to notice the sights of the ride. You don't want them to see the rails that you're on. That's why it's in the dark.
I think Space Mountain's pretty awesome. But yeah,
Space Mountain is awesome.
the roller coaster of being a content creator, just in general, just creating stuff, being a
Especially
creator.
if you care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EA. I mean, what?
Yeah. Speaking of EA, can we wrap this up? I need to go do my dailies, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, Shinoda, you got the last thing on here that we haven't
Nope,
talked
nope,
about.
nope. I don't wanna. I'm
Oh, you don't want to
hungry.
end up
I
on
am ready.
that
Bro, it's
depresso
been almost
espresso?
about 4 hours, man. Like,
Yeah, we're
holy
ready to
crap,
go.
we've had so many people stay here and watch. Thank you for sticking around so long
Yeah,
Absolutely.
to watch us talk
champions.
about absolutely fuck all.
I'm glad you guys have stayed around. I'm glad you guys stopped by and you chat and you give us questions in our Discord server. I'm happy that you guys do that. Just trying to get more people to come into it, but that'll come with time. I definitely think. But yeah, if you guys are done and you don't have anything else left to do, I will just say thank you everyone for stopping by to watch us. Also, thank you for everyone who stops by on Monday when this comes out and watches the VOD of this for the actual episode upload. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below if you like what you saw and want to see more. Also, tell me how terrible my take is about Baldur's Gate 3. I can't wait to hear about that.
Bro, this entire episode was just hot takes, actually.
It really was. It was kind of like one of our monthly dumps, except it was just about hot takes for things besides anime.
Like, let's become the most controversial podcast ever.
All right. I mean, hey, maybe.
That'll get us a lot more views.
No,
there was casual racism about eating dogs because you're Asian. I mean, we had everything.
people don't see the chat here, so they don't understand that this was a live stream, so they don't know what we're doing.
I really should make it so. Well, I don't know if I can make it so that people can see with the chat all the time in our current setup.
You know,
I don't know if that's the smartest thing.
I also don't think that's the best thing, but anyway, check down below where you can find links to Anime Club After Dark on Twitter, on TikTok, on Discord. We're also on Blue Sky now. There's also a link down below where you can find our merch store if you really want to help us out there. But with that, I have been your host, Alex, and I will see you next time. Say goodnight, guys.
Good night, bye.
Bye. I'm gonna go
I'm so
get
hungry.
food.
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
right?
dude! It's been 4 hours.
See, what you needed was a nice little bit like mine where you could have
Oh.
food while you ate.
Oh my god. Fucking shill.
All right, good night, guys.